It's showtime. Yeah, we are back again. I'm so happy. Yeah, I can see people here. Upsy Kitchen. That was one of the winners from yesterday's prizes. Zawudi, and I see you. Kudra, Badru, Moses, yeah, Moses from Ghana. Inyene, Sandra, Ghanaians, as always, they are so punctual. It's like our Japa to Ghana. Oh. It's like our Japa there. Rejoice, journey. If you're joining us, let us know where you are joining us from. Let us know where you're joining us from. Our speakers, our experts, the panelists, the great men and man and woman and women. Because for this first session, we have 2 women on board and a man on board. So this is the first time we are having, is it the first or the second time we're having a man on the family and parenting panel session? And I am so excited. Hi, Miriam from Nottingham. Hi. Let us know where you're joining from. In the meantime, I think I'll just play with its music. Let's find the music to keep the room warm, you know. Yeah. Okay. Hello. So I'm going to bring on board my co-host for today, who is Hope. I can see her dancing in the background. Hello.
Hi.
How are you today?
I'm doing great, and you?
I'm alright. So excited for today. And I'm so excited for you too, because you're moderating the family session and you're a family life coach. Oh, this is like of insights and blessings. So if you know someone that should be here, please share the link to them right now.
Go call them. Send them the link immediately. Something is about to happen. Hey.
Hi. Oh, that's my wonderful sister-in-law, Jean. She says, thank you for yesterday's session. Thank God for today. Yay. We are so happy for today. So where are you joining us from? Let us know.
I just love this sound. Like it's giving me good vibes here.
And B, you're not alone. You're not alone. Okay. Awesome. So while we are waiting for more people to join in, Hope, can you introduce the speakers for us?
Okay.
Have you got the profile of the speakers?
Let me quickly run through that. Let me do that now.
Coach Ife is here already. Tochi is here already.
Okay.
And Mr. Bamidele is here too.
Okay.
Let us know the amazing experts we are expecting today. Okay, so we can start with let's just start introducing the speakers, because yesterday we ran out of time. that we didn't take any break. Oh my God, it was so amazing that we didn't even take
Yeah.
any break. Oh, yesterday, yes. Have you got anyone up yet, or should I
Okay, I
proceed?
have Coach Ife here. Coach Ifeoma
Coach
here.
Ify, please go on. She's
Yeah.
here already.
Okay. All right, everyone. Welcome to the second day of the Stress Management Summit. And today we are going to be having an amazing time. Yes. So let me quickly introduce our coaches for this evening's section. Wherever you're watching from, welcome, and welcome. Make sure your gadgets are fully charged because it's going to be a powerful section. It's going to be a powerful night you don't want to miss. Yes, it's going to be a life-changing evening for you. Do not miss this. All right, so Coach Ogbonna, coaching and founder, Balanced Living Consulting, fondly called Coach Ife and born among 50 years ago in Lagos, Nigeria. She's a mom of 3 young adult girls, a trained medical assistant for over 9 years, and before that has 2 degrees, the first in food technology and the second in Bible and theology, in line with one of our passions to be a pastor. Our passion for helping people and seeing them achieve great things, and our own personal experiences and achievements in life made her to dive into life coaching with a niche in stress management, wow, and work-life balance with a special passion for mothers. Ifeoma, Ifeoma then founded Balance Living Consulting in April 2023, a stress management work-life balance coaching company that assists individuals in managing stress effectively, avoiding burnout at work, increasing productivity, and achieving a healthy work-life balance. Studies have showed that stress is the cause of 70%. So Coach Ife has written 3 published books and a journal, Selling Through Life, Creating the Life of Your Dream, iLife, Ice Bean, MFA, and a journal, Finding Balance, all available on Amazon. Let's welcome Coach Ifeoma Ogbonna. Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening.
Wow,
Thank
so good
you.
to have you. Welcome on board, Coach Ify.
Thank
That's
you
a
so much.
powerful profile. That's a powerful profile.
All right, so should I go ahead with the second coach, Coach Tochi?
Yes, Tochi, yes. She's here
Okay,
now.
so the next on our list is Coach Tochi Opara. She's a mom of 3, public servant, voiceover artist, and advocate for a less stressful mom life. As a seasoned mom and professional, she is passionate about empowering young mothers to prioritize their well-being, manage stress, and live a happy, fulfilled life. Through our page, Talking Mom Stress, she shares genuine value content and relatable experiences. Through her support group, she encourages mom in taking control of their lives guilt-free while also practicing daily stress management routines. Our expertise include stress management, self-care, and mindful parenting, inspiring moms to thrive in all aspects of life. She's also the founder of Mom's Day Out, a premium curated stress relief experience designed to help moms unwind, network, and have fun. We are going to be having a lot of fun with her this evening. So let's welcome Coach Tochi Opara. All right, so the next on our list is
Good
the next on our list
evening.
is
Yeah.
all right. So the next analyst is Coach Dele Agbogu. He's an author, leadership and family life consultant with a diverse background. Initially trained as an electrical engineer, he furthered his education with an MBA from a business school in the Netherlands. His expertise is strengthened by extensive certifications in management, leadership, and family systems, including being a certified family system engineering practitioner (FSEC) and holding postgraduate certificate in higher education from Falmouth University, UK. Dele has proven track record of revitalizing organizational and ministerial systems, enhancing their variability and competitive edge. Currently, he lectures on business management and leadership at the University of Suffolk in partnership with the Global Banking School UK, while maintaining his consultancy practice. His passion for counseling and marriage coaching has consistently yielded positive outcomes, particularly in the application of systems to resolve relational and leadership issues, employing pragmatic, experimental, and theo- therapeutic techniques. He guides couples and individuals in courtship towards fulfilling relationship. Let's welcome Coach Dele Agbogu.
Hi, Coach Dele. You're live.
Thank you very much. Hello.
Thank you so much. Thank you all so much for being here. We are so grateful.
I'm
for the-
feeling intimidated in the midst of ladies.
Don't be intimidated. Don't worry. We are actually honored to have you here, sir.
We welcome you with open arms.
Yes.
Thank you very much. So I can calm down, right? Thank you very much.
Yes, you are safe.
Thank you.
All right. So, for the audience, this is how this session is going to be. This is a panel session where we have our amazing experts, Coach Ife, Tochi, and Mr. Bamidele. And what's going to be happening is we are going to be asking them questions on today's topic, which is on family and parenting. Okay, so we are going to be asking them questions, and they will bring their expert perspectives to help us live wholesome lives in this journey. And you're welcome to ask your own questions. You know, all those questions you piled up from yesterday. Now is the time. Okay, we have plenty time for you. So get your pen and paper ready. And if you've not shared this session with someone, please get them on board right now. You know that friend that is always asking you, hey, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. This student will not kill me, or my husband, this, now that. Let go and send the link to them now. Let them be part of this. Okay. And we have our moderator here with us, the amazing Coach Hope. Oh, Lord, I should be reading her profile. Oh my God, I have to be forgiven for that. Why not your profile? Let me not show my dirty linens in public. So Coach Hope is the amazing strategist that has worked with me together from day one of the planning of this particular summit. So if you're clapping for me, you're also clapping for Hope. Yes. She's an amazing
Well
woman.
done. Well done.
And she's going to be the moderator for today's session. So somehow I'm going to take the back seat, and I'll just introduce, maybe just ask one question, and she takes over. Okay? So our first question is, what's one practical way couples can reduce stress in their marriages? Let's start with Coach Ife, please.
Okay. Marriage is a big school that you don't wish to graduate from. You just want to be. So, one practical thing that you have to do, I will just chip into one: understanding. People just say communication, talk to each other. That's what I get a lot of people saying. Communication is the key. As much as that is true, from my experience is that people talk, but they don't communicate. We talk to ourselves, but we don't communicate. One, maybe we are not speaking the same language with the other person. If I say, what is wrong with you, as a question, the other person might interpret it she's asking me what is wrong with me. So as much as communication is good, you have to just know yourself, understand whether what your partner really wants. Is that partner that needs time? Is that partner that needs to deal with things immediately? So in understanding them, you need to put systems in place. They say that we don't live up to our goals, we fall back to our systems, so that if problems comes, you can always just go back to that same system that you have already made. So whatever works for you guys, just have to really put it down. You want to say, okay, if you're having a problem, we all need to go and take a break. If that's your system, you guys know it. That's our system. There's stress, there's a problem. Let everybody go and take a break. If it's your own system that our system is we have problem, or we'll take this one, throughout the day we don't talk to ourselves, we don't whatever, but in the night time we must talk about it. Or we have a system, or we are calling somebody in, I'm reporting you to this person or whoever that person is. So create a system that works for you. And in creating that system, understand yourself. What somebody sees, just like stress, what somebody sees, for me, ask me to go to the city to go shopping is stressful for me. So if you feel that I have to go to the city, you're stressing me. Why for somebody else, going to the city is what cools them down. So in creating that system, know your partner, know their language, know their stress language, and create that system according to that stress language. That's what I would say.
So it's more like no one size fits for everyone.
No,
No,
I don't think so.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Sababi Dele, since you want to say something.
No. I'm just responding to her wonderful response. Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah, but I think to take that further, that understanding is very, very key. I've once heard many years back by my mentor. He said, when you want to say understanding, he said understanding is what you put under that you are standing on. So it literally means you have things under, you can manage things within a healthy state. But if you want to take that understanding further, a lot of people, they actually, seek to be understood instead of seeking to understand. And that's a big paradigm shift for whoever is seeking to understand. And that's where listening come in. So that communication is huge, and we can start talking about communication for the next 1.5 hours here. I won't leave here. But the other part I want to add to that is having that shared vision. Now, focusing on the shared vision and taking responsibility. Now, this is one practical way. Whatever I'm saying is what myself and my wife we have practiced over the years, 22 years down the line now, and that has actually helped us. So, in order to reduce stress, when you and your partner, in addition to understanding each other's differences, knowing that what is okay for you might not be okay for the other person, and if it's not okay for the other person, how do you come in to support that person? So in doing that, these are granular details that actually lead to where you are headed as husband and wife or as partners. And if that's the case, if you have that end picture or end goal in mind, then it helps every other details. And that's why what some people term as stress is actually the discipline that is required to navigate a process or a stage of their journey towards fulfillment. Now, that end picture will give you that understanding of the necessary responsibility on your part, necessary discipline on your part, necessary perseverance on your part. Now, these keywords I've mentioned now are the things some people turn into stress. So, with the focus on that vision and the aspiration with the understanding of responsibility and support, that will go a long way in now seeing it from the perspective of this is a necessary experience that is required for us to move from where we are now to the next place where we will have to be. I'm bringing this up so that the categories of people who term something to be stress will actually see it as it's not actually stress, it's something that is temporary and that can move them and make them better than where they are coming from. And of course, you are in a better position to be able to manage situations. Thank you.
This perspective. Wow. I'm stunned actually. So instead of seeing it as stress, see it
Seriously.
as part of the journey to the destination, to the beautiful destination.
Yeah.
Wow. Hmm. Tochi.
Oh yeah, whispering my name. Yes, I'm actually stunned by Mr. Bamidele's
New.
mindset shift, because that's a huge one.
Yes.
And really, I feel inspired by that. So a little further than he has taken it, or let me say, like a shoot out of what he said. For me, one practical way couples can manage stress is offering unwavering support.
Yeah.
And just like we have also said here, these are things that they are practical. They are things that we practice as well. There is nothing as beautiful or as blissful as knowing that the person that you are doing life with has your back. Like they are there standing with you. As a couple, you are now a team. So knowing that this person, no matter what's going on, this person, no matter the situation, this person has got my back. It just makes life easier to
Yeah.
navigate,
Yeah.
basically. And the person is looking out for you, you're looking out for each other, you're trying everything possible to make sure that life is easy for you guys. And offering support can take any form. It can look differently for people. And it can look like, number one, just planning or scheduling time to connect intentionally, and this also, adds like a spark to the relationship. It doesn't let you guys suffer emotionally. You know that you're going through different phases of life. Having somebody who speaks life into you, who tells you or who encourages you when you're feeling down, somebody who is filling up the gap when you are dropping the ball in certain areas. Because the truth is, you cannot be everywhere at the same time. And these are the and stress, like we said, that stress can show up in any form. It can be physical, it can be financial, spiritual, whatever angle you are looking at it from. Knowing that this person that I'm doing life with is there for me, it just makes it a lot more easier. So the person can, even maybe if it's financial stress, the person can suggest beautiful business opportunities for you, or say one or two things that would even encourage you and give you an idea of a way to sell your business. Or it can even be praying for you or praying together. So this support goes a long way for me. Even the other day on Instagram, I was watching a reel that a new mom put up, and she was sharing that, in fact, she was scared being a new mom. She was afraid of that postpartum phase, and she didn't know what to expect. But surprisingly, she did not suffer postpartum depression the way she was, the way she saw it, or the way she heard other experiences from other moms, because of her partner. Like, he was there in the middle of the night handling the baby. He was trying to make everything easier, trying to do chores around the house, in the kitchen, and all of that. And he even helped her heal faster. So imagine that this person that you call your partner is not there for you. What will happen? Everything will feel like you are doing life alone. You feel unloved. You feel like everything is coming down on you at the same time. But there's an encouragement and a happiness that comes with knowing that your partner supports you and is there for you. So offering unwavering support is it for me.
Hmm. Wow. You know,
Can I quickly
before,
jab in something?
yes,
Yes, yes, please.
yes.
Okay.
Understanding, support, the big picture, that is the vision. I just want to give one practical example that myself and my wife, because of the big picture that we had before we got married, we discussed how many children we are going to have. We discussed the kind of school that children will go to. We discussed our career choices right from the onset. So the support is actually a big one, and because at every stage that you have envisioned and you have worked out. I'm a Christian, for example, and I believe God, and I believe that He has a say in every stage of my life. So I don't see anything as coincidence. So at every stage, you discover that somebody is one that need that attention. And that attention for whatever is the project or the phase the person is in might be requiring much of the family finance or budget directed to. Now, if that is not the case, that's where the support comes in. That's where understanding comes in. Now, at some point, she did a master. I finished my first degree first before she actually finished hers. But she went on to have a master's degree. I didn't do my own master's degree until 10 years after I finished my undergraduate. Now, at each of those stages, whoever is involved in that capital project, we devote one person's salary completely to it, understanding that. And that's why that support you talked about is huge. And I really understand, I really get that. And that's why it's difficult for couples to grow together or to align together if they are working within two different worlds. And that's why we need to really bring them together so that they can see things together, they can support each other. And with that understanding, because of the picture of the preferable future they are working towards, they are able to motivate themselves, energize themselves, and they have what it takes to even persevere just for the outcome that they are expecting. Yeah, thank you.
You know, why you're talking, it just occurred to me to do a special shout out to my husband. His name is Mr. Nnamdi. I'm
Wow.
telling you, I have to really appreciate him because if not for his support, maybe this summit won't be holding. So he's a special shout out to him.
That's great.
Yes, for him giving me that stability. Most of my stress is so reduced. I am able to fly as much as I want to just because he has given me those wings and those support. So thank you to him. I don't know if he can hear me.
We're also saying thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
I'm sure he'll be dancing somewhere now. Okay, Hope, please carry on now.
Okay, thank you so much for that amazing time. Thank you. Okay, so understanding support. I think this brings us to the next question that talks about parenting. Yes. So that question will be channeled to Mr. Bami Dele. The next one. How do you handle parenting stress when you feel overwhelmed?
Um, I prioritize self-care. I prioritize self-care. When I feel overwhelmed, I know trying to get things done when you are overwhelmed will be counterproductive. People are overwhelmed and stressed. If you look at it from a personal level, if you look at it from the family perspective, if you look at it from a work perspective, you see people unnecessarily grumpy, they are snappy, they are not just there. So for me, how I handle parental stress when I feel overwhelmed, I constantly talk to myself that Dele, you cannot be productive if you try to make any decision at this point in time. I think that's the first thing I do normally. And when that is settled, then whatever it is, no matter how provocative the thing is, either from my wife, because at the early stage, we always have that disagreement practically every other day. And at some point, although I couldn't tell her at that point in time, but it was much later when we grew beyond that stormy phase of our journey. And I remember going into the closet and I said, Lord, I hope I had not made a mistake in this marriage. Because we literally have disagreement every other day. And later I got understanding to know that personality clashes. I'm more introverted, she's more extroverted, she's more dominant, not domineering in the negative sense, but she's more strong-willed. I am more reserved. I take my time to make decisions. So when people are clueless, like we were then, it was a big deal because I don't want trouble. And it's not that it's trouble, she just wants us to resolve issues, but resolving that issue is nightmare for me. So when I'm at the earlier stage, I didn't know how to really handle them well. That's why I said I asked myself a question, and I hope I have not made a mistake. But moving on from there, I now looked at it. Oh, Dele, you better gain this mental consciousness that until you are in the right frame of mind, there's no how you can resolve this thing, or there's no how you can deal with this thing, or there's no how you can make any reasonable or empowering decision, and therefore calm down. So that is one way I handle it. And that is between me and her. But we're talking about parenting stress now. Now, because it has a similar logic when you have hyperactive children. We have our children while they were growing up, and sometimes somebody like me and my wife, we are career people and we have high responsibilities, and it places a lot of demand on our time. And when we get to, we just want to just have the peace of mind. Sometimes we get a call from school because of our children's hyperactive nature. Not that there's anything wrong with them, but I think they got the hyperactive state from me, because I just remember sometimes when I make a mental summary so that I was super active when I was younger. So I said, Dele, see your life. That is you replicating yourself in that. So we get that call. I'm already stressed out from work. I get back home. What is all this? What is all this? So myself and my wife, we actually, when we gain the better understanding, we try to now see, how we can do it. At part time, one person is at a better state than the other person. Whoever is on his or our own wit end, try to step down from that. And the person that's in a better state of mind is the one that goes ahead to try to resolve that matter, because we know that we cannot give what we don't have. So when you are in that state of heightened stress, at that point in time, you can't give anything that will be healthy. And truth be told, we've made certain decisions, have taken certain actions that we later regretted. And so we told ourselves we will never allow ourselves to get so overwhelmed that will allow you to make us to take a decision that we'll later regret. So based on that, we look at it per time, depending on the situation. This time around, I might be the one that will be in a better state of mind. Then we'll delegate that to Lele, you handle that. Some other times, I might be the one that is in a more stressful state and she's better in that situation. Then I take the back seat, then she goes on and she handles it. If it's both of us that are stressed at the same level at the same time, then we try to just find a way. We will not take any action. Neither are we going to take any measures against them, because we know it can be destructive to their mental well-being. It can be destructive to their esteem. And I've suffered that personally when I was growing up from my own parents, because they are disciplinarians. So I understand the impact of you just yelling and just disciplining uncontrollably and without understanding and not coming down to their level. So that is how practically we deal with our cases when we are overwhelmed. Because the first thing is, you will never get anything positive out of it if you act out of those heightened negative emotions, because those overwhelmed state of stress will actually get your emotions to that point where you will not make any serious decision. And this also applies to our work, our career. Even when you're doing business, you don't make a decision when you are not in that right frame of mind, especially when you're overwhelmed with stress. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, thank you, sir. I think we have a question here that still goes to you before Coach Ify. Okay, it says for partners who are not on the same page before marriage, what can they do to align themselves?
Yeah, thank you. That's a very good question. For those that are watching that are not married, I want to say congratulations. You have opportunity to go for counseling. Please go for counseling. And there are multiple tools personally that I use. I consult at the family life level, I consult at the leadership level. There are tools that we use in ensuring that people have aligned values, aligned perspective. When I address people, my clients, I don't put emotions to it. I don't put sentiments to it. And I made them to understand the possible things that they are getting themselves into. After we have initial sessions and we'll take them through, make them to bring up 10 things that they feel they will be doing in life in different areas, their career, their spiritual, their family, their just practically in all areas. Then we use them to align them. And people we know, they will run personality tests, we will run love language tests, we run culture compatibility tests. We do the one that helps us to get into where they are both coming from, their worldview, where they are coming from in terms of upbringing, in terms of exposure, in terms of culture. That helps to put before their faces to know that this is what they are getting themselves into. Now, you've gone past that, you are married now. You didn't notice that before you got into the marriage. It is still possible to make things work. I will really, really say, because as a professional, you know, you cannot just say it like I'm answering now. There's no one straightforward answer to it. It must be assessed, and we have to understand this peculiarity of the situation. Sometimes we might have two families might have communication problem, but the root causes might be totally different. So the fact that I applied a particular approach for one does not necessarily mean it's going to be applicable for the second one. So we need to drill down and understand the peculiarities and where these things is coming from and how long these have been, and at what point did you discover this, and what have you done? Because sometimes something you don't handle very well, it gets compounded over time. And that's why some people get to a breaking point where they tell themselves they are going their separate ways. So we need to look into that and be able to say, but the truth is, we need to let people understand that having different values is not a crime. Neither is it wrong. It's just that it just shows that we are different. Now, it takes some measure of maturity to now accommodate those different values together. I'm a big fan of harmonizing your vision, your dreams, your aspiration. And that is what will give the opportunity for both parties' aspirations to be merged together. That's how you come up with your family vision and family values and the constitution for the family you want to run with. So in that sense, because there's a whole lot into it, as he's talking, and my brain is just opening up and opening up. So this is a short time. We need to narrow it down. But I think if that person can reach out, then we can take a special look at it with that peculiarity, because we need to find alignment with both parties. If there's no alignment, I'm not a prophet of doom. If there's no alignment, it's just a matter of time. It's a ticking bomb. And we don't wish that for anybody. So the earlier one seek call out for help, the better it will be. That will be my position. That will be my say.
Okay, thank you so much, sir. Coach, if you may want to touch on that.
Yes, I would. I will start even from that question that was asked. The truth is that when you are not aligned, when you're not in the same page as your partner, a lot of things go wrong. Yeah. You know, I use myself as an example. I was married for 21 years, and I'm no more married because it's worse. And when there is no alignment, and maybe you use the word values, I believe your values, maybe character, cultures might be different, but your values should be very, very similar, or else it won't work, you know. Yeah. And we find parenting is something that should be done together. Just like what you said. You said if your wife is down, then the husband will take up. Then when two of you are down, you have to also put a system. I'm a lover of system. You have to put a system of what will happen. So in my case, there was not much of alignment. You know, sometimes when a marriage break, it's not a matter of who is good or who is bad. That's not even the problem here, what I'm going to go into. But there was no alignment. There was no working together. So although there is a family union, but it's not functioning the way it's supposed to function. So as a mom, and I don't live in Nigeria, you go to work, you do all those things, still come back and do the things you're supposed to do at home. Can be very overwhelming. And you still want to be this loving, smiling mom. Right now, I talk about I'm against shouting moms, but I did it for a long time because that's the only way we knew. But coming into an environment whereby you cannot be shouting on your child every time because you are stressed out, and they'll go to school and they'll see another thing. They'll come back and they're angry with you because they fell down or they did something. You are saying, "Are you not seeing road? What is wrong with you?" Their classmates will fall down. Their parents are saying, "Oh, is your leg okay?" But we were bothered about something else. You understand? So, and sometimes it's from our own stress. And our own stress, we take it over on them. You understand? So for me, for some parents here, moms or dads, that maybe you are still married or you are single parenting, is really challenging, because if you are married but you are still that's what I call single parents in a marriage environment, whereby you are still having it all. Maybe you are the person bringing the money. It can also be men. I've seen men, they're the one bringing in the money. They will still come back home. Their wives maybe are not working. Everywhere is still scattered. They'll still be the one to help the kids with the house homework. So it's really overwhelming. For me personally, I had to talk to my kids. I didn't work much when they were growing up because I really needed that strength for them. So I made that sacrifice of not having things, but I was there. So when I started working at a point in time, I'll go to work. What I do is that I don't come back immediately from work. So I don't take that work stress and dump it immediately on them. So I take a longer walk. My walk from my working place to my home was about 5 minutes walk that time. So I would take a longer walk, maybe 10, 20, 30 minutes walk before getting home, so that I calm down, separate that stress from work, and get ready to enter my home in a sound frame of mind. And sometimes still yet, you don't still get it. Sometimes maybe I've separated that work from my home, but you just come into your home and then you are trying to open the door and the shoes are there, you understand? And they're telling you welcome. You're telling them, why is the shoe there? Why is your shoe there? Why didn't you put your shoe? And your child just said to you, welcome. They said welcome, and you are already attacking, And sometimes it's worse because you are feeling overwhelmed. You are feeling tired from work maybe, and you now come, you want to see, maybe you left your home even clean. For me, I told my kids, when I come, give me hugs, great, but I need my 5 minutes to just take in everything. So they know they'll just come and greet and they'll now go. Then when I get myself, I revisit them and then call them. So for me, I need this break. One, maybe from work, I take that break. And when I get home, especially from a long day, I tell them, I need my 5 minutes. Give me 5 minutes to come down, hug them. I was cool. Then I go and move my things, and especially when they're growing up, then I get myself. But that's just the immediate one. Before this time, you have to try to find ways to always keep your stress level low. There's what they call the stress bucket, whereby work is there, family life is there, everything is there, your stress bucket is high. So you have to put a system in place whereby your stress bucket is always low so that you don't easily get overwhelmed. Part of it is self-care. Those things that make you feel good. I know a lot of people, they work, and they rest, but they don't play. I used to be like that. We rest, we work a lot, we rest, but we don't play. We don't do things that we really love to do. And as a mom, most of the time we don't do the things that we love to do. We can say, okay, we are resting, we are going to sleep. But do you do anything at all that you love to do? So if you don't do those things, your body will not calm down. You'll be in a state of you'll be on, I don't know the English word to use. You're just there's one word I'm trying to use. Irritable, not just irritable, you are just so you're full, you are tensed. Yeah, you are just tensed all the time because you have not really, somebody have not giggled you that you just feel relaxed, And if you are not doing that, parenting will not be easy for you. You understand? So that's back to system. Let your kids know, for example, when mama is stressed, when everything is too much, talk to mama. Right now, my children, they are young adults. Till now, they ask me, Mama, when do you have time for me? Sometimes I won't get angry them asking me that question, but they are so used to it for many years now that they still ask me, hey, when do you have time for me? Because everything with you is appointments, you know. I say yes, because when you're talking to me, I want to listen, I want to be there. But when I'm doing something, I'll not be there for you. I'll not give you the answer. So for me, take care of yourself. Self-care, do the things you love to reduce stress, exercise, mindfulness, all those things. Those things will continuously reduce your stress. And when that stress comes actively in that time, tell your child, give me 5 minutes. If you have a partner, let your partner take over at that time. If you don't have a partner, just tell your if you can work out for any reason, just do that. But please come back actively to attend to them. Just like also wives and husbands, whereby you're not in the mood to have sex and your husband approaches you and you refuse. You don't refuse, you tell, okay, no, I'm not in the mood. Please, you should be the next person to activate it the next time because you are the one that stopped the game. So when you don't say, no, I'm tired, I have a headache, try immediately that headache finishes to be the one to, to start. So when you take a step back, be the same person to take a step forward. That would be my
Thank you
take on
so
it.
much, Coach Ify. Thank you so much, Coach Ify. I think that takes us to the next question. And the next question will marry it together because they look similar to this one on the screen right now. But the question is going to Coach Tochi. Yes. So the next one is what's the best way to discipline kids without feeling guilty or harsh? Then we have a question here. We're going to combine both together because they look familiar. It said, how do you deal with a mom who always shouts and transfers aggression to the daughter every day and it's affecting the child?
Hmm.
Hmm. Okay, thank you for that question.
Coach Tochi, over
Um,
to you.
yes, yeah. Can you hear me?
Yes, we
Yeah.
can.
Okay, so discipline without feeling guilty, is that possible? I don't know. For me, like, I don't want to shame anybody, but even me, I feel guilty, and there's no time. And I want to say it like this: like, the fact that you feel guilty is because you care. Like, you are reviewing the things that you have done, and you are just reviewing and trying to make things better. So for me, discipline, I think we need to take it to the foundation of God's instruction. So, what does God instruct us about how to discipline? Discipline with love being the foundation, discipline with grace and wisdom. You're nurturing, you're teaching, and of course, you're a model. And being a model means that before you are able to discipline your kids, you should be able to discipline yourself because um, what they are or things they do are a projection of what you do or what you say as well. So let me start from that angle. So you should be able to, if you want them to be able to self-regulate, be able to self-regulate your own your emotions as well, because you cannot teach what you don't do. You cannot tell them to do things, and your actions are speaking otherwise. So being able to discipline in love means that you are going to use connection as a tool. Connection as a tool. Um, you get down to the level of your kids. You actively listen to them. You understand that child in front of you. So I'm going to um, refer to Dr. Vivian's session yesterday because again, she's my mentor. I learned from her everything I know about motherhood and being a calm parent. She was the one who coached me on that, and her resources are just amazing. So learning how to discipline your child comes from a place of love, from a place of teaching. Every wrongdoing or every mistake that a child makes opens up that opportunity to teach them what they ought to know or what you want them to know. It's not a time for you to now shout over every little thing or to punish them. Do you get what I'm saying? So use connection as a tool to get across to them, to let them know what they are supposed to do. Again, you cannot even um, punish. Now I want to use the term punish over what you have not taught them. If you have not taught them that, okay, don't place this hot cup on top of this table, and they do it, and then you are now shouting, they don't know. You have not taught them, you have not modeled, you have not instructed, and then how do you expect them to know those things? So discipline from a place of love, use connection as a tool, be show a lot of empathy towards things that they do. So I have a toddler. He's going to be 2 years old in a couple of months. And in fact, amongst all my three kids, he's the one I know that I have practiced gentle parenting the most. And I am seeing the effect. My first child, as a new mom, I didn't know anything about calm parenting. In fact, just like Ochifi said, is the way we were trained. I had a disciplinarian as a father, even though my mom was a little bit on the softer side. But most of the things I do, I realized is based off on what my father, how he disciplined us as well. So I was a chronic yeller and I was looking for perfection. Like, I did not want to project myself as somebody who is failing. Like I have a daughter and then she comes up and she's too bold and I'm like, don't you respect your elders? That kind of thing. So as a new mom, I made a lot of mistakes. But after my first child, I started to understand that these children, their brain is still developing. They react based on impulse, and you cannot take it up on them. You have to show them what they need to do. You have to constantly remind them. I'm sorry, you may hear him yelling. He's actually calling out to me now. You have to constantly teach, repeat. You see, repetition, you will not get tired of talking. You will not get tired of talking. They say you have to say something almost more than 13 times for it to stick the first time. When I heard it, I was amazed. I was like, okay, so it's not even only me. I have to talk. You see this talk, you go talk until the end of time. It's never enough. And you have to continue to reinforce the things that they need to know. So give them grace, show them grace, do it according to the teachings of God, show them, be calm and be calm. Like, I know that life throws a lot at us. It's difficult to center ourselves, and every little thing we tend to, blow it out of proportion because of the way we are feeling. But there's something that also helps me. When I'm in that raging state, I've noticed that those two voices are there. There's one that is usually loud. Come on, talk to them, let them know that you are a no-nonsense mom. You shout, yell, tell them, let them show them. You've been talking since morning, they did not hear you. Come on. And as that voice is shouting, there's another one saying, yeah, mom, yes. What are you supposed to do? Did you tell them? So like today, I have shouted today, I shouted in the morning. What happened? I told them to freshen up. Today start today, now clean up here and there. My first child is 8, my other child is 6. 8 going on 9, 6 going on 7. And when it comes to their room, I like them doing it together, even though they have separate chores. But my 9-year-old, for some reason now, likes to relax a lot and not do so much. So I've gone to their room, I've told them 1, 2, 3. I counted it 7 times actually. And I told them, this is my 7th time coming here. The next time I come, you guys will not like what I will do. And of course, it happened again. So she went to put this toilet cleaner in the toilet, so that everything. Then her younger sister took it and it slipped off her hand and it burst. I just bought that toilet cleaner yesterday, and that was just the breaking point for me this morning. Yeah. I was shouting. I was like, "You guys, I bought this thing yesterday. It has burst. Do you know how much I bought it?" And the still calm and firm voice were telling me, "It's 3,000." Is that why you want to see your compound people are hearing your voice? And I'm like, and that voice is telling you, show them, you have gone there several times. Let them know that even though you always pet them, but you can also be a tough mom. And the other voice is telling me, they don't need that right now. Even if it's 3,000, you can buy the small one. If it's because of the money, buy the small one. When you have money, buy the big one again. And I told them that I'm not going to clean it. I actually told them to kneel down and raise up their hands. Let me just be confessing my sins now. But at the same time, the guilt that came upon me that point in time was when my baby now went to join them to kneel down and raise up his hand. And then that still voice told me, can you see? What are you showing him now? This boy that just came into this world yesterday, he's already learning how to kneel down and raise up his hand. And I felt so guilty at that point in time. And I told myself, yeah, I said I wasn't going to clean it. I actually went to take a mop and I was mopping it. And while I was mopping it, I started listening to that still voice like, you are doing it. You can do it. Forgive them. Don't worry, it's a mistake. They will learn. Next time, tell them, or you can do it with them. Go and tell them, okay, let's do this. Let me be washing the sink. You guys should rinse it. Or let's fold the clothes together. You know, those kind of things. And at the end of that episode, I was so glad that I did not spank. Because if I had listened to that loud voice, God knows, maybe I would have given somebody like three spatula cane and I would have put mark on their body. And and then the guilt will heighten because I will see the mark eventually. Or somebody, maybe a friend or somebody will come in and be like, what happened to your hand? My mommy beats me. And then you start feeling guilty and embarrassed. So I was so glad at that point in time that I was able to listen to that still voice that calmed me down, and I had to, see another way to address or to discipline at that point in time. Yes, I told them to kneel down. Immediately I started cleaning, I just told them, you guys should get up. What do you want? Then I now came back to the teachings that I was taught. What do you want now? What do you want to do now? We are going to freshen up. Okay, what do you want now? My second mom said, okay, she wants hot water. I said, okay, let me pour the water for you. Go and take your bath. What's your own headache now? She was like, that she was looking for the toothpaste. She did not see the toothpaste. I was like, okay, let's go and look for it. So we came back. Something that I should have just asked initially, like, what's going on? Why are you guys not doing this thing? Instead of going through the long route and shouting and giving myself headache and giving extra work of mopping and do that, it could have been avoided. So what I'm trying to say is try to listen to that still voice when that rage has come upon you. At the end of the day, you'll be happy that you took the other option. There is no one way to discipline, and it doesn't have to be the harsh or yelling part. And that when you take the other part that is speaking to you softly, calmly, but firmly, you would do it without feeling guilty about it. You will be satisfied with the decision you took, and you will see that you have modeled, you have taught them, and you are keeping their mental health safe. So that's what I'm going to say.
Thank you so much, Coach.
Someone said Odogu was showing solidarity. That's your son.
Honestly, I felt so like it just when I saw him kneeling down, it melted my heart. Like I was like, Jesus, Tochi, what are you doing? like is this how you want him to grow up? In fact, before you even say go and kneel down, he has gone to kneel down. No, I don't want that. I beg.
Your internal dialogue is so interesting. It's like I should come and live inside your head.
Okay, Coach Bramidele, we'd love to touch on that, but alongside this next question, before we move to this one, and Gloria asked for the next one. So he says, my question is, must we always beat our children anytime they do wrong? Looking at the Bible saying that if you spare the rod, you spoil the child. In 1 minute, sir.
Open it now.
Okay, I'll try in 1 minute. I think I'll just give an illustration and I will leave that to us to reflect. I'm a product of a child that was yelled at, beaten, both physical and oral abuse. I'm not saying this to paint my parents, especially my dad. I'm not saying it to paint him bad. I'm saying it because he was operating at the level of knowledge he knew then at time. It's even late now, blessed memory. So I was beaten practically on every wrong. And when I do other things, but intellectually, when it comes to academics, I'm very bright. So when I bring good news on terms of my results, and it was passively acknowledged. But every little details of wrong that I do was, it was measured back with high consequences. I got a lot of beatings, I got a lot of oral abuse. And why I'm giving my own personal story is for somebody to learn from that as a parent. So you tell yourself, I will do whatever it takes to make sure I don't parent this way. Because even after I now graduated from the university, from my first degree, I suffered low self-esteem that denied me a lot of opportunities, and I could not associate easily until I came in contact with my mentor that, I learned under him for years. And that helped me to, of course, God, number one for me. Then he ordered myself to meet this person. And for many years, I was under his mentorship. And that was what brought me to where I am today. Well, how many people will always have that opportunity? I ask myself, because we parent the way we are parented. If we are not very intentional about it, if we are parented negatively, I'm telling you, it's a repetitive cycle. You translate that into your own. So you don't need to feel bad, because I used to also feel bad because we went through the same thing during our own first 1 year. So now saying, is it every time? It is not okay to beat your child. I am somebody of that philosophy. I believe in that philosophy before, that if you don't beat the child will not really know that he has gotten it, or he or she had gotten it wrong, or it might just let the person to be set loose. But right from the beginning, if that is the measure we establish, then it will go a long way in empowering the child, because they are not animals. My wife will always say they are not animals. Then why will I raise my hand? But the same, my wife does will say they are not animals. Myself and her were guilty of the same offense the first 1, 2, 3 years of our marriage, because we never knew better. I now sat down, I reflected, I realized that, it was because I was parented this way, this way, this way, even though I hated it. That repetitive cycle programmed me, and in an unconscious way, when it became my own time to parent as a father, I just switched on, because that was what I saw for many years. So in the nutshell, please, it is not okay for everything. There are ways that we can go about these things. There are ways we can go about it. You can do, you have to establish boundaries. You deny them privileges. There's a way you reinforce some things and let them know that there are consequences to whatever it is that they do. You know what they love the most. Deny them. Use as measure for consequence for them, and deny them. Over time, they will get the message. Sorry, I know it's way more than 1 minute, but one thing is, when you are doing that and you have been doing it for a few months, you think it's not working. We were in that situation before. Please, the problem is you stopping. If you want it to work, continue. Whether you like it or not, the thing is seeping down somewhere. Don't think it's getting here like my tradition to say, enter from here, comes out from here. No. Even if looking at it, it's looking like it's coming out from here. Something is depositing inside them. And at the right time, at the right season, at the appropriate age, you will be amazed, because we are seeing these fruits now from our older boys. They are now our own mouthpiece that we are using to talk to our last child, who is a girl at the teenage level now. So that's what I will say. Thank you.
Can I say something,
Okay, thank
please?
you so much. Okay, 1 minute.
Okay, sorry.
Please.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In discipline, when we discipline our kids, we should not have guilt about it. So anytime we feel guilty, that means that particular discipline is then wrong. You feel guilty when you did something wrong. So that's where guilt comes in. Personally, what I can recommend is, one, depends on how old your kids are. There are different ways you can deal with discipline, depends on how old they are. There's a point I was asking my kids when they did something wrong. Okay, if you don't do this, if you don't get your room arranged or so, what punishment should I give to you? And I realized, asking them that question, some of the answers they gave to me were more harder than what I would have said. Maybe I would have said, you will not have TV for 1 week. They'll just say, Mama, if I don't do it today, give me 1 month, I will not have TV. How can you give a child 1 month, not TV? But that's what they will say from their mouth. And them saying it, most of the time they get to do it. So one of the way you can have a guilt-free you discipline your child and don't feel guilty, let them themselves give themselves that punishment that they would do if they don't do that thing, you know. Secondly, you give children punishments in quotes based on the the wrong they have done. Let there be a relation to what they did wrong, or else they will not learn. They cannot do one thing wrong and you are disciplining them for something else. We do it all the time. Even today, I do it, and my child will ask me, "But what concerns you taking my ND away from this particular distance?" And I must find the connection. I must find somehow to connect it, or else they will tell you they don't learn from it. You understand? So when you are disciplined, giving them a discipline, it should be connected to what they did wrong, you know. And when you have punished your child and you feel guilty, that means you did something wrong. Go back to them and say you are sorry. Maybe the discipline was too much. I remember a day, I keep telling this my young adult child, every day she wants to make me feel bad. Say, Mama, I remember that day that you really beat me. You can imagine me as a parent, and I live in a place where I don't beat children. I have another understanding or the unbeaten. But that day I was teaching her, and she was not just here understanding the 1+1 I was teaching her. I asked her 1+1. I tell her, you ask her the next minute, she will tell you another thing. I said, I was so, I'm a very, I'm a high achiever. I want things to go well and everything like that. I beat this girl, and you would think it was something else. Immediately I finished, I was just there. My child was crying. I was crying. I took out my frustration on her, you know, and I cried and cried. She cried and cried, and I had to say, I'm sorry. I am very sorry. So as parents, we can make mistake for any reason. So when you feel guilty, know that you did something wrong, go back to them, tell them you're sorry, and move on, look for other better ways to change. Lastly, when you tell a child something 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times, and they are not doing it, you have to find something else to do. You have to find another way. Either you are not doing it the right way, or they are not hearing you, one of the two. So either you have to say it in another way for them to understand, or find out what the problem is. For example, my last child, you tell her to wash the plate. To take her so long. Ask her to wash the bathroom. So it's done. Ask her to take the car, go to shop. It's done. Go kitchen. So I realized that, forget it. This is not just her own thing. That's not her skill. You understand? She can do any other thing, but kitchen. So I have to now change everything. That me, I'm doing the kitchen as much as possible, and she does the other things without any problem. So sometimes, you go back and see, why is it not working? Why am I telling this person something is not working? Then instead of punishing that person, then you change some things.
Okay, thank you so much. Please help highlight the question from Gloria. So we'll ask it together.
Yes.
And Coach Bamidele, you respond to our next question. Let me. Okay. Gloria says, "How will you handle a partner who never points out your mistake to you, but rather choose to give you a silent treatment?" Hold on, please. Let me marry the next question to this. It says, "How do you keep love alive in marriage when life is stressful?"
All right. Should I go on?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I can relate very well with this question on the screen. How will you handle a partner who never points out your mistakes to you, but rather choose to give you a silent treatment? I used to be this person. So, and I think this is born out of your personality traits, the introverted ones and the extroverted ones. Even with the introverted ones, we have the two other broader categories under the introverted. We talk about phlegmatic and also melancholy. And the extroverted ones, we talk about the cholerics and also the sanguine. My wife happens to be an expressive person that falls under the cholerics and the sanguine. I fall under the introverted person. I'm an in person. I don't like to push myself out there. And each time we have an issue like that, I bottle it in. I bottle it in. I bottle it in my head. I'm mature. Meanwhile, those things bottling in, they were actually eating me up. In fact, my wife at some point in time was, she felt cool then that my husband is mature. See all these things he did. I myself, I was unaware that I was actually priming a bomb, only waiting for the day it will explode. Another time that we have an issue where it was only maybe 1/20th of some other things that had happened. This manual old primer when in the villages for borehole, you prime and prime and prime and prime, it will not come out. But the moment it starts gushing out like this, wow, that was how, as quiet as I was, I couldn't control it. I said words that time that I was not proud of. I hated myself for doing it, and you could see the surprise on her face. Ever since, I told myself I might not be able to express it immediately, but I took it upon myself as a responsibility. You know what? I'm going to be saying this. I've given my personal story to be able to buttress this thing. How do you handle a partner who never points out your mistakes? Please, you being the expressive person, you need to bring, when he or she does something and is hurting, please find an opportune time, not when both of you are debating or angry or the environment is charged with negative emotions. Make sure it's in a relaxed state and you are also calm, so that when you are bringing it out, you are bringing it out as a feedback to the person. Because before now, the person, you might have discovered that, it was because you discovered that he had not been saying this, he had not been saying this. Because people like us, it is when another thing now happens, we're talking, we can make a reference to it. And you are wondering, where is this one coming from? What are we talking about? Where is it coming from? So bring it to the open and let us know. But in saying it, if that person is like me, don't come hard. Come when you know I'm in a fresh state, and come when let it be like a feedback. And if it's a feedback, you know what you did the other time, this and this and this, it didn't get down well with me, because you've had one or two inferences or example that you can use, and you now bring it up. Please, you know what? There's no how I can be in your mind. If you don't feel comfortable about something, can you please just let me know? There's a way, the tone, the gesture, the way you pass something on that will really hit people like me. And I've left that world, but don't get me right. But then that's how you can get at me. And I say, oh, I didn't know. Oh, then when when that person is trying to explain something, because of using my wife as an example, because of her personality, sometimes she just cut me short. At some point, I want to say, okay, I'm the man. I want to say something back. So I told myself, Dele, you know what? Not every time you should be keeping quiet again. So you have to also say something. The day I attempted it, I became somebody like have a stammering nature. But before I say, baby, she would have been pam, 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 pam. 4 points in quick succession, only one. I'm still staggering and I'm stammering, and it made me feel so stupid, and I feel so less of me. That is one of the experiences that got me. So you know what? Dele, shut your mouth. You can't win this lady when we come to contest by virtue of words. But the best way she now got across to me, she now used some of those things, especially when I open my mouth and I just messed the whole thing up. She was afraid. And she will now be saying, Dele, I'm not in your mind. If I am not God that know what is going on in your mind, except for some maybe intuitive thing. But how many times would that be? That cannot be the norm. So please, if you know I've done something that you feel is not okay, can you just let me know? That time she too had understood that the way and approach she used in getting those things across to me was not the best of approaches. And therefore, she also now learned from that. I also now learned that daily you cannot be keeping silent. So I think it's to let this person know based on the other ones that you have experienced and appeal to the person so that our marriage can be healthy and we'll be able to make headway and we can get to understand each other better. And when people like us hear that, they will make effort, because we just need to understand the impact of what we are doing. Except I'm not a responsible man. I'm a responsible man. So I have to now take it upon myself, take it as a challenge and a responsibility to do what is required so that I can actually make things work. Now, the other question is, you said how can
How
you
do you
keep
keep love? Yes.
alive,
How do you keep love alive in marriage
loving alive
when life is stressful?
when life is stressful? I would say focus on shared activities and intimacy. Focus on shared activities and intimacy. Stress can often push couples apart, and it is therefore essential to prioritize shared activities and intimacy. This might actually involve, when you talk about scheduling regular date nights. I am not a fan of going out on a date, but I have to cultivate the habit. So from time to time, we don't do it too frequent, but I know that this makes my this make the day for my wife. Regular date nights, engaging in hobbies together, or simply making time for physical affection and emotional connection. Because stress can shape you into a form that becomes the reality of your world. And when this happens, others can get shut out unconsciously. So it's a strong encouragement that we should ensure that this is happening. I personally, if I'm out of the house, I took it upon myself, no matter how stressful, I work in a high pressured environment. I lecture, and there's a high turnover of one module to the other. If I leave that to itself, it will mold me into its form, and it becomes my reality, and it can destroy my marriage. I deliberately, when I'm home, sometimes, you know what, I just say, baby, how are you doing? I've cultivated that habit. Now the children are also picking it. If I'm leaving the house, I'll tell them I've gotten to the train station. I take train from Sheffield to Leeds. I've gotten to the train station. My train is also time. By the time I get to Leeds, I arrived Leeds. By the time I've closed. By the time I'm coming down back, I'll put it, my train is scheduled for so time. Arrive in Sheffield. If I take a taxi, I share the link. If I don't take a taxi, if it's a bus, I share the link. That accountability also now had brought that into even to our children's world as well, that they have been doing the same thing. But the one that addresses this question is, I will tell you, baby, I'm just thinking about you. Sometimes I am grateful to God for being my wife and being the mother of my children. Sometimes I say, I don't know where I could have been without your involvement. Even a few days ago, I was still telling her, thank you for being the mother of my children. And I deliberately say some like that in the presence of our children because I want them to learn. We are modeling it. We are modeling what we are telling them. But that, if you look at that, that will go a long way. Work will come and work will end. Marriage will stay a lifetime. I was almost at that stage, at the early stage when I started high pressure work, even back home in Nigeria before we came to the UK. I would be so engrossed. I will deplete all my energies from work. When I get home, I'll be useless for the family. That is I told myself that daily, that is an irresponsible act. No matter how pressured I get, psychologically, I prepare myself that when I get home, they must still have it. The time might be short, but that short time must be a quality one. Sometimes we watch a movie together as a family. Sometimes I'm stressed, but because I need to fulfill this aspect, I'll just make myself available. I want her to be happy. We travel from Sheffield to Nottingham. I'm actually having this session now in a friend's house. And I quickly drove down 20 minutes to a place where I can sit down and I can be part of this program. I've stretched myself because I know that we have come to experience somebody's 50th birthday. And because she's an extra, we don't attend parties, but this one that she said she wants to, I want to make sure that she's happy. And therefore, I'm stretched, but I'm happy because I understand the impact. And that's some of the ways we can actually keep loving alive in marriage when life seems stressful. Whether we like it or yes, life is stressful on its own. It's stressful on its own. So it's for us to develop a mechanism or a system around it to make sure that there is a part of the family in our lives.
Wow. Just say
Sorry,
Thank you
something.
so
I just remember this thing. As a parent, please, if you have the opportunity, if you own a business, if you own a business or you have an organization of your own, please be for the first one for the next 1 year from January, that 1 year, make sure you understand when your children have their special days, parent evening, inter-house sports, if it is done in, maybe if somebody's watching and maybe in Nigeria, special days, any special occasions like that, please block it out in your diary first and foremost from January. When you do that as a husband, and a husband and wife are looking at it this way, you are, it's a strategic approach to take out some measure of stress, because sometimes I'm so stressed. Beyond being stressed, I take on some things that I could have avoided if I have planned ahead. And that alone itself can communicate something so healthy to your partner at the end of the day. Thank you.
Thank you
So
so much. Wow.
let me
Okay.
say something quickly. From what you're saying, is more about prioritizing your family,
Yeah.
prioritizing your
Yeah.
marriage and your kids,
Yeah.
regardless of the empire you're building.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is so powerful. I know my husband is listening. We are going on date night. I will find where they go to. We'll find where they are staying.
It's a lot. There's a lot to unbox here. We are all having fun tonight. Wow, what a great time to learn. Okay, so Coach Tochi, this question on the screen is for you. How do you deal with the emotional of your parents constantly quarreling in front of you as a child?
Hmm.
I
Oh,
think the mic is not on.
My mic is not on. Can you hear me?
oh
No.
no, yes.
Oh, okay, sorry. So the question says, how do you deal with emotion of your parents constantly quarreling in front of me as a child? Um I didn't get to experience a lot of this, but I unfortunately have fallen off the wagon and I have quarreled with my husband in front of my kids. And the unfortunate incident is that sometimes the person who remembers is my first daughter. And sometimes she mentions it even in the gathering of family members. Ah, mommy, I remember that day that you quarreled with daddy. And I'm like, please try and forget. Now, if I can get this Men in Black appliance to just zap that memory out, it's not good. It's not good. And it, I would say it traumatizes the child. It's not good. It doesn't put you and your partner in the best light, and your child is learning negatively from that experience. That was the last time it happened. That was it. And what was even the reason for the quarrel was something very stupid that we could have stopped in the room, but we brought it out to the living room where they were. So I would advise, if of course any parent that is here, if it's a burning issue that you need to address, please do it away from the kids. Lock yourself in the room and attack it. Let them not. It doesn't mean that you are hiding or you are pretending. No, you are preserving their mental health and their innocence. If you need to talk about something, if you don't, it's not even also compulsory that you must address it at that point in time. There are some issues that you can leave for later, maybe in the dead of the night when you guys are inside. You talk about it calmly and address it, communicate, talk about how it makes you feel and all of that. But try as much as possible to keep it away from the kids, because it's really not good. And that impression, it lasts longer than you would imagine. This is something that happened years ago. Me, I've even forgotten until she brings it up. Then I remember, like, this thing again. and you cannot take away that picture from their mind. So please avoid it as much as possible.
Wow. Thank you so much for that. Because we are running out of time, because left for me, I want us to stay more, because this our marriages, it must work. This parenting,
Sorry,
it must
Dr.
work.
Eze, sorry to cut you short. I just want to add a little thing that I do to keep my own marriage alive, because I'm also not, even though I like going out, but I understand my partner, he's somebody who is reserved and wants to be inside, just like Mr. Bamidele. So, in fact, a few weeks ago when he traveled, I just cajoled him. I was like, you wake up in the morning, you cannot even say, hey, baby, how are you? Me, I'll be sending you voice notes, send you pictures, send you everything. So, it's sort of what we do. We send memes, we send funny videos, any links to any comedy or any skit that we see that made us laugh. It's part of something that keeps our love alive, because it's not every time that is intimacy, and see, sometimes they are not just in the mood. And again, it starts from the beginning of the day, everything that happened. Um, so we send a lot of memes, we send videos to one another, and then voice notes. And of course, when he's around, we are movie lovers. So at the end of the day, when the kids have gone to bed, we watch one or two, just one movie or a series, maybe one episode of a series, and we just talk about it and also talk about our day. So it's these little things. It doesn't have to be the big things of, you must go on a date. Sorry. And then again, the date can be something that you do in the house. It's not compulsory that you go to a restaurant. If you cannot find the time to do that, instead of neglecting it totally, do the little you can with the little time that you have, and just keep the spark alive.
Thank you so
Okay.
much.
Do you want to take that?
Uh, Coach, if we can take this last question so that we can just
Okay.
summarize with the
Okay.
very
So the
last.
last question is, maybe we'll marry it with this one on the screen. What's one mistake you made in parenting or marriage that others can learn from? And this one on the screen says, how do you deal with a difficult partner? So this on the screen can go for 1 minute, please.
Okay. Let me start with mistakes. First of all, with parenting, I worried too much. You know, you worry and you don't enjoy the moment with your kids. I was the person that I worried too much. Then I prioritized a clean environment, a clean home over having fun with the kids. And I had to learn that as much as you want to have a clean home and things like that, the kids want to have fun. And their own understanding of what life is, of, or if you are a super mom or a super parent, is that they're having fun. And that's part of their life. That's part of all our lives. That's the truth. But as kids, they will need it more. And me, I was the person that they play with one toy. I've already kept the toy back. Before they look back, that's, where's my toy? I said, no, but you started the other one. That's why I kept this one. And kids, they will have this one, have this one, have this one. So as much as you want to keep order in the house, you try and let them have fun, and don't handle out of worry. I had to personally learn to trust God, learn to let them go. And the truth is that when you don't learn is when they are younger, when they start going to their teens, when they get to the university. If you are still worrying, then you just die of worry. But if you have done your best and you have prayed, you just have to let go, because worry keeps you in a form of tension. So that's one mistake I made in parenting, that I would have done differently, but I really took time with my kids. I was really there for them. Then in marriage, we talked about, when you're talking about how to keep love alive. First thing is that the Bible says, can two agree? Can two work except they agree? So if you're not yet married, our coach Dele said, congratulations. So right now you're hearing it again from me. Look for somebody you agree with. You have the same values. You can have fun together. You can fight together. There's a place of conflict. There's a place of disagreement. In answering the other question, even when you mistakenly disagree in front of your kids, it can happen to the best of couples, but you go back to address it go back to the kids and explain it to them, because it can happen. They can know you're talking in your room. You think your voices are low. The kids, they are hearing every single thing you are saying. So the only thing is that you can just go back to them and explain the situation. Like, listen, there was something, Papa was saying this, I was saying this, but right now we have settled the problem. Sorry, we shouted, it was just, apologize to them. Let them know there's a place for arguments. Some people say they never saw their parents argue. Why not? You're a human being. I argue with my kids a lot right now, but it should be an healthy form of argument. And for them as kids, you should, if they see you people arguing unhealthy, then you need to apologize to them and explain to them. So for marriage, one mistake I made was this: when you are with somebody, and you are giving your best, you are giving grace, you are giving space, and a person, even a child, keeps doing the same thing over time, you have to take them to the way they are. You understand? You have to take them, this is this person. So, and another thing, you talked about love language. Most of the time, we find out that we expect people to give us our own love language, and we also give them our own love language. You understand? I love having gifts, for example, or I love nice words. But the person you're married to like gifts. So every day you're writing letter to the person. You're wasting your time. You understand? So that's a mistake that is being done. That person is showing you who they are and what they want, and you are doing something differently, what you want. And mostly that takes place when there's no agreement. My ex-husband will always say, if a thief marry a woman that is a thief, their thieving career will prosper, because the man will thief and come back home. Police will come, the woman will defend that man till, you understand? Even rob the man, give the man tips and everything like that. That is the power of agreement. And marriage is supposed to complement you. Marriage is supposed to complete you. You understand? So that's, and when somebody, maybe in your courtship or the beginning of your marriage, is showing you something black and white, don't say it's going to change. It's going to change. No, take that problem and deal with that problem. Stop just praying and believing they'll change. Go and ask for help. This person know the hear word. He's talk, I talk, doesn't hear. What should I do? Don't sit down and be praying and believing. I believe in prayer so much, but take action to whatever they are showing you. Take action. That's what I would say.
Thank you so much,
Oh,
Coach
how do you deal
Ify.
with a
Thank you.
difficult partner? I don't know. Sorry. Maybe
Okay.
somebody else will answer. Or should I answer?
No, it's okay. We can, Coach
Go to
Tochi
God in prayer.
Dele can take
Okay.
the question and also
I
summarize.
can go
After
ahead.
God,
Yeah.
I think the question is a bit general. It's general because being difficult could come from different areas. Is it maybe difficulty in how you make decisions
I'll make
together?
your sister let us
Is
take it
it
for you.
difficulties? It goes round and round. What I would just say based on the general question here is, I think we need to seek for help. If before now the issues are still pending and it seems as if we don't have a way around it, but before you seek for help, have we taken time to sit down and bring those issues up? Not when both parties are angry, at the point where you are both relaxed and you understand that you are trying to resolve these issues. Has that been tried? Has have you consulted maybe with a professional before now? And because we need to drill down to know exactly which aspect or which area this person is proving difficult. Whatever difficulty you're seeing from the front is just proof that both parties are not yet in alignment and they don't get to understand each other. If you understand each other, I shouldn't be proving difficult to you. You shouldn't be proving difficult to me. It's a different thing. There are things that my wife will do. If I have my wife saying, don't do them. But because I understand, there are things that is part of our marriage. And I call it that is part of the baggage that I have, as long as it's not affecting the foundation of our marriage. But the ones that are really going to affect our relationship or can impact on the children, no. we have to talk about it. And if you've been talking about it and it seems as if nothing is still happening, please, I will request that you need to reach out. You need to reach out. I know that our time is up. So I don't know whether I'll have this opportunity again, but what I'll just say is this, that life inevitably throws um, curveballs, curveballs. Deadlines will loom, relationship strain will happen, unexpected bills could arrive, and the daily grind can feel overwhelming. These are stressors. And what I just want to drop is that you are bigger than your stressors. And what I just also want to add in rounding this up is that you have to live intentionally, and please try to avoid living reactively. So live intentionally, not reactively. Yeah, thank you.
Wow, thank you so much. What an amazing section. Wow. I'm not seeing the comment section. Like, give us your best emojis. Seriously, this is a course on its own. It's a different course on its own, and we are taking all of this for free. Thank you so much, Coach Bamidele, Coach Ify, and Coach Tochi. Thank you so much. Okay, so before we call this section a wrap up, one last word for each each of you in the next 1 minute on balancing family stress without losing your mind. I'll start with Coach Ify.
And
Okay.
also, sorry, and also
Yeah.
include how we can connect with you
Reach out
after
to
we.
you. Yeah.
Okay. You can reach me on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, at Balance Living Consulting. Balanced Living Consulting. You can get me, or even if you give Coach Ify in on Instagram, you get me there. So balancing marriage, family, and work is you being intentional, you being purposeful, you know. Because if you just go with the flow, you will just be thrown like the wind, just throw you here and there. But if you intentionally say to yourself, marriage is important to me, my family is important to me, work is important to me, and you know the different intensity of each one, now you are intentional about it, it will take you a long way. For me, I went back this year again and I asked myself, what are the most important things to me? What are the 5 most important things to me? I wrote them down. And I now ask myself, what do I do? What are the things that take most of my time? And I realized that what takes most of my time did not align with the most important things to me. So I started putting action. If I say my kids are the most important things to me, how am I spending time? How am I showing that? How am I communicating that? Because you cannot say, I love them in my heart. No, you have to act. Action is what people see, you know. So let your intentions line with your purpose, line with your belief, and know that they say if you throw a lot of balls up, your work, your friends, and everything, that the one of family is a glass ball. And that is the one you should always catch when every other thing is falling down. So take care of your family. And before you can take care of your family, take care of yourself. The longer you are there for your family, the longer you have an awesome family. God bless you.
Thank you so much, Coach Ify. Over to you, Coach Tochi. Please unmute. You're muted.
Can you hear
So
me now?
yes,
Yes.
first let us know how we
Okay.
can get to you. Okay.
Yes, you can get me on Instagram at Talking Mom Stress or on Mom at Mom's Day Out. So quickly, my last few words. So like I always tell moms in my community, prioritize yourself, do one thing for yourself every day. And remember that you are in this for the long run. So start your day with intentionality, with God, with your affirmations, and trust that you are tougher than whatever challenges or situations you come across.
All right. Thank you so much, Coach Tochi. Over to you, Coach Bamidele.
Thank you. I think I've actually said mine before the time, so I'll
Yeah.
just repeat that. You are bigger than your stressors. Live
Yeah.
intentionally, not reactively. And I think earlier on, when my Bible was being read, I think my social media handles were put up. I have a website. I have resources. If you visit me on my website, you'll see resources. I think I have like 6 books. Some of them are on Amazon, then some of them are on Seller. More are still coming this year. So but my handle is at Dele Agbogu, and we can always take it up from there. But when you get into my website, you get to know my world more because I major in 2 major areas: the leadership and the family, and that's why I started the podcast. I call it relational leadership because family is tied to personal effectiveness. It's also ultimately tied to um, how we perform at work in our career, and ultimately it has impact on the society. And that has been my mantra. That is my goal, and that is my life assignment, irrespective of the stress my 8 to 5 job is bringing my way. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Over to
Wow.
you, Dr. Izine.
Thank you all so much, Mr. Dele, Coach Tochi, and Coach Ify. This has been so fantastic. After this session, now I'm going to give someone's son a big hug right now because
Seriously.
you need to give him a hug. He's trying, and this session also made me to realize that my family is very, very normal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a place I wrote house rules. I have very little children, 5 and below, 3 of them. And I've talked, as in, Tochi says you have to talk 13 times. It's like they all needs to reach 20 times. So I had to put house rules. And they now remember the consequences, even without me saying anything. So if I talk too
Yes.
much to one and they are not following it, I'll just go and include it in the house rules. They even remind me, you did not put it in the house rules. Yeah, this team must work. Oh, this our family must work.
Yeah.
Our marriages
Me
must
too.
work. Our parents,
Yes.
our children
Me
must be
too.
raised well. Thank you
Amen.
so
Amen.
much.
Please, can I
Amen.
say something? It just
Okay.
pop up in my mind now.
Mhm.
Please, whoever is listening, this is from my heart. I didn't plan to say this before now. Family is very, very critical to the state of our society. Please, whatever you see goes on in the society is a reflection of the family. And that's why I have this burden, strong burden, how to relate family, how is impacting on the society. Please hold your family dear. Do all that you can to make things work. Grow together as husband and wife. If you are not yet married, go for counseling, healthy one, not the one that is one-sided, healthy one from professionals so that you are ready for the journey. Because we'll have responsibility to raise generations that are meant to bring about sane society. I've looked around, and that those are part of the things that God planted, that eventually planted that desire and that burden in my heart. Let's collaborate. Let's work together. And that's why I didn't blink when I got this opportunity to come and speak. I want to say thank you, Dr. Ezine, for this opportunity. We need more of this. We need more collaborations. Any platforms you have, as many as you have, leave the as in thousands. You don't know what you are doing when you are organizing this kind of a thing. So it's a burning desire in my heart. So please, let's do all that we can. And if you and your partner, or your husband, or your spouse, you are doing everything possible and it's still not working, please don't let it get so bad before you speak up. Please, because professionals are not magicians. If it's totally ruined before it gets to them, it will be pretty difficult
Random.
to get it resolved. So before you get to that breaking point, speak up. Making it known to somebody you can confide in is no immaturity, and like some people had made me to want to make me to believe. It is actually maturity, and is a sign of you taking responsibility to make something work, because you know the damaging consequences. It span beyond your generation. It goes down because there's a
Mm.
repetitive pattern that thing will generate, and it will go down with children and children's children, but children's children. But I pray that that will never be our portion, and there's no situation
Amen.
that cannot be remedied, no matter how bad, as long
Amen.
as the two people are ready to make it work. I just felt I need to say this out before we put a closure to it, which was not part of what I planned to say at all. But thank you so much for having me on here. And it's a privilege. I want to say a big thank you.
Thank you all so much.
Thank
Thank you
you.
so much.
Thank
Thank
you.
you all so much. Thank you everyone who has joined in. Please don't leave yet. We are just going on a very, very
Yes.
short break. Go and grab your coffee, grab your tea. I remember the first time I was giving tea,
Water.
where is the bread so that I'll cook when make it food. So go and drink your water. Yes, go and drink your water. We'll be back in just 5 minutes. Go and stretch. We'll be back shortly. See you.
Okay. All right.
Bye.
Okay, someone is asking what's the website. I think maybe we'll put that on the
The
screen.
comments.
Yeah.
You can put it in the comments.
Okay.
Oh. back. We are back now. We are back. Tell everyone to come back. It's just 5 minutes break. We are back. Our WhatsApp community has been buzzing. Since this last session. And we are ready, so ready for the next session. Tell your people to come back. Tell them to come back for the next session. I'm sure you enjoyed how interactive it was. That is also how this session is going to be. Okay, let me just put this quickly. For those asking about the website of Coach Bamidele, this is www.deleagbogu.com. It's just that we move forward to the next session. Our speakers are here already. Okay, without wasting our time, we're going to introduce the next session and the speakers. We are going. The topic is Japa and career: how to hustle smart, manage stress, and still enjoy life. If you have your people who are in the abroad or planning to relocate, tell them not to miss this particular session, because they are going to learn from people who have lived experiences, experts, people who are thriving abroad, and people who know what they are doing. So tell them to join now. Share the link to someone. You could be saving a life, and I mean it, in the best positive way. Okay, so we have let me introduce our speakers. They're all here already waiting. So the first person on my list is Chiamaka Onyedika. Chiamaka Onyedika is a health practitioner by training and a personal development enthusiast by interest. She has a heart for people and feels called to teach. She's actually a teacher. She can teach, and you must be transformed. She finds writing and speaking as wonderful ways to express herself. She loves having soul-stirring and meaningful conversations too. She loves nature and sometimes indulge in little vanities like matching earrings and lipsticks. Please, I need earrings. Please, let's welcome Chiamaka Onyedika to the stage. Yay! Beautiful woman. Glad to have you here. You're welcome, Chiamaka.
Thank you. Can you hear me?
Very well, yes. Very well. And the next person is the next wonderful lady, Dr. Oriseweyimi Erikowa Orihoye. I believe I got that correctly. If I got it correctly, Mama, you're going to send me £100. So, popularly called Dr. Weyoms, a pediatrician who enjoys working in public health, environmental sustainability, and community development. She is also an associate lecturer in healthcare management and an early career researcher in the UK. She's the director of programs for Coastal and Marine Areas Development Initiative, CMADI, Warri Delta State. She also mentors and coaches young Africans on leadership, social impact, and career development. For those asking about Let's the website, welcome. This is Sorry. Okay, I just had to mute this quickly. Let's welcome Dr. Weyoms. Yay! So glad to have you, Dr. Weyoms.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
You mentored me in my career journey at one time, and I'm always grateful for that mentorship journey. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
And then the final person on our list is a very, very modest man, and you can also see that in his profile. Oh, you see, it's very, very easy to lose the profile. And that profile is very simple. Mr. Nnamdi Okeke is a health and safety consultant. You're very much welcome.
Thank you so much. Nice to be with you guys.
You're all very much welcome. Thank you so much for saying yes to this session. And we are going to go straight to the questions. And as always, please share this session to everyone. No, Coach Hope, please come on board. We're in this together. Don't leave me, oh, please. Don't leave
Welcome
me.
back.
Welcome back. Okay, so we have our questions here, and please ask your own questions, okay, so that we'll have this conversation moving and to be the most practical and most impactful session. So the first one is trying to writing and speaking as wonderful. There is someone's background that is kind of
A
loud.
reoccurring, yeah.
That is reoccurring. Maybe the person is watching a YouTube already. The session is reoccurring. Okay. So the first question is, what's the hardest part about relocating, and how can people handle it better? Dr. Weyoms, please.
All right, thanks everyone. It's a pleasure to be here. So the hardest part of relocating is leaving the place that you already know. You know, as a Niger person or anybody, you know, wherever you are from, leaving that place and going somewhere else. So I would use the example of Abraham. God said he should leave his land and then he should go to another land. So migration is as old as us. So that's one big thing that might be very difficult. Going to start all over again, going to start a new life, new everything, either whether you're going through school or through work. It's something that is very hard to leave that place where your family, your friends, all the things you've known, your culture, you know, everything that you know about, and you're moving somewhere else. That's something that's hard. The other part that is also hard is settling in that place. It takes a lot from you as well, because it's like new beginning, and it doesn't matter your age, whether you are 16 years old or you are 30 years old or you're 40 years old. That's the hardest part. Change is a very hard thing, and for people, they need to grieve it, and to grieve it can take a long time. It can take a short time depending on the person, but that is one of the hardest parts. So I'll stop there first.
Tell me about it. Actually, leaving your home, the comfort of your home and everything, to a new land is really hard. Thank you so much for that, Mr. Nnamdi.
Hi, thank you so much. So the question is the hardest part about relocation. You know, if you look at it, it's something that I saw somewhere at the one of the airport I passed through, where there was what they wrote about disability that is not seen and invisible stuff. Like, not every disability is visible. So people tend to forget about the emotional part that comes with relocation abroad from where you used to be. Like my dearest sister said, so you talk about leaving family behind. It's not about the paperwork. That's what some people think is one of the most hardest part about securing your visas and stuff like that. But when you leave your comfort zone to a place you are not familiar with, trying to adapt with the culture, the economic situation of where you are relocating to, trying to get used to social life, especially let me use most Nigerians, for example, or most Africans, for example. We live a kind of community life. We are kind of attached to one another, and you are in an environment where people are living a kind of isolated life. So it's very, very stressful to anybody, you know. So that's what I think is one of the most hardest parts, you know. Living a very lonely life kind of style. At the beginning, it's really, really, really very hard, to be honest.
That loneliness. Now
Yes.
God go help person when they relocate abroad for the first time. Chiamaka, please, over to you.
Yeah, I totally agree with Dr. Williams and Mr. Namdi. I don't think that there's a part of Japa that is very easy. I don't think, because there are just different facets to Japa. There's the emotional side to it. There is the financial costs. There is the relational costs. It just has different facets, and I think it's difficult to put it in one go and say, oh, this is what your most difficult problem is. And I think it will also depend on one, how informed you were prior to leaving your home country to that new country that you intended to go to, and also how informed you are about the reality of how life works in the new place where you found yourself. Then who received you? How much support do you have? So there's just a lot about Japa that we can't just put in one go and say, oh, this will be your most difficult thing. But I think that the shocker is usually matching the expectation and the reality that you meet on ground. Because for most of us Africans, we are moving from a third world nation to first world countries, and the image of the first world countries that we have is what the media has sold to us. And it's usually something very lofty, beautiful. We just look at it that, oh, once you find yourself here, life is just going to be like very cozy, things will just move, all your problems will vanish. And then you come in to your new country and you realize that life is life in here just exactly the way it was life in back home. You have to deal with all the normal problems that people deal with, and sometimes it's even more because the system is totally different from what you have always known about. It's not something you have the skills to navigate. So it's more like Dr. William said, you start again. You now start learning the system, learning people, different culture. How do you communicate with them? How do you react to situations? How do you express yourself in a way that is not perceived as rude or misunderstood? So it's just a whole lot. But I think that the biggest shocker is matching the image you had in your head prior to your moving from your home country, and then aligning it with the reality you find, because there's always a misalignment. Always. You will come into that country and then you realize that it wasn't as exactly CNN told us. There's something missing.
When you were talking, I remembered one experience when I was in Qatar, and this guy, the taxi man, the Uber guy, he said something, and I was like, oh wow, no, thank you. I thought he asked, would you like some tea? I was like, wow, this is like 5-star experience. Wow. I said, no, thank you. He said, am I sure you don't want me to turn off the AC? Was talking about AC and I thought it was offering me tea. That
There's
language barrier can be.
language barrier, different things. So it's just a whole lot to deal with. And when she talked about grieving, the emotional detachment, I don't even think that you deal with that completely. I think it's just something that over time you learn to live with it and manage. Because how do you completely detach from your place of origin? And for most people, the major family lives back home, and you're probably the only person here, or you have one or two other family members here. So how do you deal with that? So do you now start adjusting to a new reality where you now have just two people in your family because that person is the one that live closest to you? I think we just find ways to manage, and thankfully social media has helped us. We have WhatsApp, we can do video calls. There's always a way to quickly connect with your loved ones, sharing messages, so at every point in time you're carried along. You know what is going on with them, they know what is going on with you. So I think it sort of helps, but it doesn't kind of replace where you are present with the people that love you.
Hmm, hmm. Thank you so much for that. Let's quickly go to the next question. And please, if you have any questions, this is the best time to ask. Drop them in the comments and we will ask the panelists. Now, the next question, which is for Mr. Namdi: how do you balance career growth with personal life without burning out?
I think it's very, very difficult to some people because sometimes you see this kind of pressure that comes with traveling abroad. Most people think especially from us back home, I used to think that once you leave the shores of where you used to be, success is instant. Now, success will become automatic. But that wasn't the case when someone like me traveled abroad for the first time as far back as 2013. I can still remember the event, the day I boarded the plane. That was the first time I entered an aircraft, to be honest with you. And from the airport till I got to my destination in the Middle East, I am certain that my blood pressure was abnormal because of the uncertainties that awaits me there. Like my dear sister said about language barrier. So a lot of things was going through my mind while I was in the aircraft that I couldn't even eat the food they gave me in the plane, and it was like I think 8 hours flight. So when I got down to my destinations, there was a lot of pressure. Like I wanted to buy a car, I wanted to show off back home, I wanted to satisfy everyone, I wanted to do a lot of things, I wanted to help lots of family members. So the pressure was so high that I was going to burn out. And unluckily for me, there was nothing like stress awareness education for me. I wasn't thinking about any other thing apart from success. I wanted to do all manner of jobs to be able to survive and succeed and meet all the needs that I had in mind before leaving Nigeria, where I was born. So to answer your question, someone needs to be educated. If I'm to advise people who are to travel abroad, they must get education. And like my sister said, there is a lot of help out there right now. The social media have made life easy for people to understand what to expect. Because if you are keen to some reliable sources, I don't think you will be disappointed when you get to where you're going. So education is very important before you set out for that journey. It's super very important. And the most important thing I will advise everyone is that it's going to be a long time project. It's not a short term project. So when you are leaving to anywhere you want to go to, you're not just going there to survive. You are going to thrive as a human being. You're going to make an impact as a human being. You're going to make a change. It's not about having, putting a kind of 10-year cap on your journey that in 10 years time I'm going to do this. In 5 years time I'm going to do this. Even when you're doing that job, you're going to be under a lot of pressure. You won't look after yourself. You won't see those small signs on your health that the pressure is impacting on you. So at the end of the day, when your health now crashes, it will become a big problem. And you can't now balance the Japa stuff, career, and the success. So my advice is no amount of success and money and wealth can be compared with your health. Your health comes first. Your mental health comes first, especially your mental health comes first. So people should be able to know when to stop, know when to quit, know when to get help, know when to seek for advice, know when to we shouldn't put any kind of cap on our success mileage. I don't think it's gonna work. So it's a long time project. It might take you many years to get to where you want to get to. So there shouldn't be any kind of pressure when you're doing that job. And if you can't make it today, doesn't mean you can't make it tomorrow. Just be consistent with whatever you're doing. You're definitely going to get there. And again, very importantly, is not we don't need to be competing with one another. Like myself as an example, I started back in 2013. I'm much more happier, even though I don't have the whole world right now. I'm much more happier than I used to be many years ago because I am much more I have much access to knowledge right now. I seek advice when I need help mentally with my mental health and stuff like that. And if I'm to go back in time, I think there are a lot of mistakes that I made that I would have corrected. For example, at a point in my life, I had a very serious health issue that took me to the ICU back in Qatar. And it was as a result of stress. Nothing else caused that. I mean, you can imagine going to an ICU and they placed you in an ICU for 4 to 5 days in an ICU. It was stress related. I got burnt out, and it's an experience I wouldn't want my enemy to even have. So again, it doesn't worth it putting all your life out there just to make some certain people happy. No, it doesn't worth it.
Wow. Wow. Thank you so much for sharing that
Wow, so
experience.
interesting.
Yeah,
Thank you,
thanks so
sir.
much for sharing that experience. I think okay, and this is actually a lesson for all of us about how far stress can go to harm us, to actually destroy that life you're trying to build. So,
Let me just sorry to interrupt you, Dr. Zine. One of the things stress can do on people is to reduce your immunity. Like, there are a lot of diseases out there that can reduce your immunity. Unfortunately, when you get to the hospital, so many doctors won't tell you this. So they are finding things that, because I remember back then, they couldn't tell me what was wrong with me. No doctor was able to tell me, to even ask me stress related question. You need to take some vacations. I never knew what vacation was. Not that I couldn't take vacation. So there are a lot of things stress can do on your life, especially on your health, and that's the worst part of it that people don't realize. It can reduce your immune system, and that was what happened to me as far back as 2018, to be precise. And that was why I saw myself in the ICU. The rest is history, but we should be very, very careful, and everyone should watch it. It doesn't worth it. We should know when to stop. We should know when to take a break. We should know when to go for vacation. If it means going to your best joints, go there, have fun, enjoy your life, start again. It makes a huge difference, and it's going to serve you. It's going to help you.
hmm, wow. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for that. Dr. Williams. Can you,
I'm just listening to him and I'm like, oh my God. Thank you for highlighting that doctors don't ask you about stress related questions. It's a
hmm,
big thing to take back to the medical community. And that's why I love what Dr. Ezine is doing about stress. Quite very unique. No one, everyone's always big on the big fours, internal medicine, pediatrics, surgery, and all of that. But thank you for highlighting that. So, um, don't go and chase success and say that you are forgetting your life. People tend to ask me, Doki, how do you do all the things that you do? So Dr. Ezine sees my profile. We've been on a journey together. We follow each other. So she knows what I mean by being busy. Like I'm doing lots of stuff. I do a lot of things. I work hybrid from UK to Nigeria. I did my PhD. My university was in the UK. I'm going to Nigeria to collect field work. I talk about health. I'm online. I mentor young people. So people will say, okay, you are very busy. But the fun part of it is that Doke self know how to enjoy life when she needs to enjoy life. So as much as I work, I also play. So the thing is, um, don't go out. Success is not about getting everything. Oh, I want to get this once. Like again, like what Mr. Nnamdi has said, some people think once they just enter the country, everything is set. That's not how it is. Like I said earlier, you have to learn a new system. You have to operate in a new system, new language, new food, new everything, and that is very hard. So if you are thinking that in 5 years or more, I will make X amount of million and I will go back home and give a lot of people, I will bring my brother, my sister, my mother, my father, and you are giving yourself some timeline, you are going to burn out. So for someone like me, they tend to ask me, okay, how do you live your life? How come you go out, you have fun? I did a PhD with my son when he was 4 months old. I started when he was 4 months old. I graduated when he was about 6 years old. It's a 4 year journey. So you can imagine how that would be, doing a PhD, working part-time, doing all that stuff, little to build your CV, to build your career. So I live a blended life. I don't try to balance it. There's no balance anywhere, but I try to live a blended life. Meaning Fridays or Thursdays, or from Thursday, I start toning things down. I start saying that, okay, we've done enough for the week. Let's go out to the museum. You see the beauty of the country that you go to outside maybe Nigeria, for example, it has lots of things to also support you as you come in. The thing is, are you knowledgeable to know that those things are for your benefits? Those things are for your mental health. So when I go to a community, when I move into a city and near my community, in my community, I find that is there a library? Is there a community hub? What are they doing there? Are there mental health activities? Are they doing any, baking or cookery or whatever? What things do I enjoy and do they offer it? The things I enjoy in Nigeria or I used to dream about in Nigeria, do they now do them here? Tennis, whatever it is. And also, can I meet new people, talk to new people, engage so I can know the culture? So I kind of have this cultural integration I'm trying to adapt. That way you wouldn't get to burnout. So you need to, it's not just work. Even an hour on Friday in a book club goes a long way. So, for example, on Fridays in my community, I go to the library and there's a lady there that just does baby cafe and it's all books that you talk about. You just do all of that. So you need to manage yourself. There are seasons where you are actively looking for a job. Yes. There are seasons where you are working and you are also including rest. So if you are in the Japa system, please learn how to incorporate rest. Success is not that I will achieve everything at once. Success is not that, oh, in 3 years I must have built 5 houses back at home. Success means that you're living a life that has seasons, a time to work really hard, a time to be in that process of say, I have a job for the next 1 year. Okay, in that time, I'm spending time with my family, I'm spending time with my friends, I'm learning to be quiet, I'm learning to so that you don't get all worked up. Like Ezinne knows sometime last year, the amount of Nigerians that were dying in the UK, it was so alarming because a lot of them were dying from stress. Some were dying just inside their car. Some were dying on the train. Some were dying in their sleep. So that's how burnout happens. So please try to live a blended life where it's a season where I'm actively looking for a job. It's a season where I'm managing the job I have, and there's a time for rest. And there's a time where on Fridays or Thursdays or Saturday, you are actually spending time with the people that matters.
Wow.
Wow,
Thank you
thank you
so
so much, Dr. Weyoms. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for that great insight. Also to Mr. Nnamdi. Okay, so the next question goes to Chiamaka. It says, what's one thing people get wrong about managing money abroad?
you need to say oops.
Did you get that, please?
Yes, I
Yeah.
did. I wanted to chip in something
Thank you.
on the whole work and life balance prior to this question. I will address the question. So I'm very big on self-awareness. And I'll say that one thing people should focus on is self-awareness. And that self-awareness is going to lead you to make a self-assessment. Where are you? What's your own capacity? What is your own unique situation? As much as all of us have done the Japa, we are in UK together, or we're in US together, or in Canada together, you know, depending on where you are, we're all on our individual journeys, and people have different situations. So the things that applies to me might not apply to Dr. Williams. The things that applies to her might not apply to Mr. Nandi. So I will encourage people to do some sort of self analysis, self-assessment, and then understand your own unique situation. Are you, you just came in? For some, it's different for each person. Some people came in as students, so your first 1 year, your first 2 years, you're going to be dealing with studies, going to school, trying to deal with your grades, maybe trying to get some work experiences that can launch you into the kind of job that you want. Some other people got their jobs directly while they were in Nigeria, and they are in already and they started working. So the goals and the path is going to be different for each person. Then when you do the self-assessment, what season are you in? Are you in the season where, oh, I'm just beginning, whether it is in your career, whether it is in the finances, whatever it is, assess yourself and then accept what your assessment, your honest assessment of yourself is. And then that helps you to now sort of come up with a goal that is personal to you, so that you are not trying to run the rat race. Like Mr. Nnamdi said, you're not in competition. Because if you are now focused, you know what you are doing, you know where you are, then it helps to align your goals. So you're not just dissipating your efforts and running from pillar to post, because you already have a clear sense of who you are, where you're going to, and what your goals should be. Then if there's a third thing I'm going to say in regards to that, I'll say redefine success for yourself. We have been sold, the idea of success as buying house, having money in bank accounts, and I don't know, being top in your career. These things are not bad in themselves, but it's more like a symbol that people keep chasing. And then you now chase it at the expense of so many things. You chase it at the expense of the meaningful relationships you have in your life, chase it at the expense of your health, check at the expense of your well-being as a person, because we are focusing on wholesomeness here, so that you're not the person whose success is only the money she has in her bank account, or the title you have in your job, or that you have gotten to a particular level in your job and that's the only thing you can count as success. But that you kind of have a well-rounded life that you're happy with, that you're proud of, and a life that you're not trying to escape from. So I'll say, know yourself, align your goals so that you have a clear sense of direction of what your own path looks like, and you know what you are chasing per time. Then redefine what success is for yourself. Buying a house is not bad. Having the fat bank account is not bad. Having investment portfolios is not bad. But when you do an assessment, you're able to prioritize and know what should come first. At this point in time, this is my season. What is my priority? Is it my children? If you have young children, is a struggle here because childcare is a big problem. So maybe in that part, you might not be ranking in the, you won't be bringing in the millions, because most of your time will go into looking after your children. If you're somebody who doesn't have a family, maybe this is the time you're going to do all the jobs to get yourself, to be somewhere stable in your career. But whatever it is, you have a clear sense of yourself and what your own path is. You're able to prioritize to know what should come first, what your focus should be per time. And then you are now kind of working with a clear sense of direction. Then the main question that was for me about finances, I think that one, we come in with, it's not our fault, kind of. I know where we are coming from, because most of the moving is an economic decision. So we come in with our own dreams and the dreams of the people who are dependent on us, who believe in us, who are hoping that our moving is now going to open doors for them and do a lot of, good for us, economically. Then we come in and then we meet a system that jars us, and then we're kind of unbalanced. So I think that the first thing is understanding that this system works totally different from what we have back home. There is stability in the economic system here. The credit system, these things are new to us. We don't even know what is credit. Who does credit in Nigeria? If you don't have money, you don't have money. If you have money, you have money. But if you come here, it is a different system. And then sometimes people also mistake the credit system for a system that dashes you money. It's not a system that dashes you money. It's just a system that, enables you if you need to do something, and then you don't have to be choked up trying to do it. So the system sort of lends you money, gives you a sort of, ease in your finances to be able to. And that system works on trust. It works on you being a disciplined person. And then they are seeing how, how compliant you are with rules and probably agreements. That's what the credit system works on. So I think it's first, we have to understand the system where we are. There's there's stability in this one against what we have back home. It is the credit system, and the rating and how we function is totally different from what we have always known. So I think the first thing we need to do is to understand that we are in a different financial system, understand how it works, and then that now guides us and our money journey in our new countries that we are now calling home.
Thank you. Thank you so
Okay,
much for
thank you so much. Okay, thank you so much. Yeah. Okay, so we have a next question because of time. I'm from Francisca. I would like to read that out. Um, that will be channeled to Dr. Weyoms. Okay, how can one transit from having real life, doing life with people that you actually know and see in person, to almost having only online community with little or no interaction with anyone. Dr. Williams.
Yes, thank you. This question. So, um, I know COVID, the pandemic influenced a lot of things, and a lot of people are still recovering from that isolation. A lot of things are online. Yes. New country, new people, new relationship. That's why when I was talking about finding a balance or trying to not get a burnout, you need to go out. You need to step out in every country that you are right now, wherever, what city, what you state, wherever you are, you need to stop just being online. Yes, there's social media. We connect with our Niger part of us, or wherever country we come from originally. We connect with them. We see people proof. Like for example, a lot of people connected with the celebrity weddings that happened over the weekends. Yes, however, if you want to integrate into a community, if you want to adapt yourself into the country that you are now starting your new life, you have to leave this thing called phone. You have to leave it alone. You have to come outside. Church, you have to attend. Yes, there's this idea that I can attend church online. No, come outside. Go to the nearest church near you, even if you have not found a church. Yes, there's this idea that even though they go church again, yes, fine, but there are still churches that are there. Come outside, go to your community hub, where you are staying. There is a between 5 miles. There is a community hub. Go there. In your child's school, interact as well. Talk to the head teacher. Engage with whatever your children are doing. Go outside. Don't shield yourself. I hear a lot about loneliness, but one thing, once you come into a new country, you have to learn how to adapt. You have to learn how to come outside from your shell. So you cannot say you're not going to have interaction. Online is, yes, I have online people. I've not met as in physically, but does not mean that I don't have other people around and I will not meet her one day. But you need to step out from your box of social media or online community. What will help your online community is when you meet those people that you have made friends with in your online. Oh, let's meet. Let's meet in London. Let's meet at this event. Let's meet here. That's how you build relationships.
Thank you
Sorry,
so much,
can
Dr.
I
Williams. Thank
let me
you.
lend a voice to
Okay,
that
yeah.
question? Yeah,
Okay.
I've lived in Qatar and I've lived in the UK, and I live in the UK. Sorry, and in the UK, all that Dr. Williams said is very doable. In Qatar, it's a bit different in the sense that you are on your own most of the time, because first of all, the Nigerian community isn't much, and then when you come outside during the working hours, you barely see anybody because it's expected that everybody should be at work by that time. And because of how the structure is, most people come back home really, really tired, really exhausted. There is that minimal time for interactions. And what most people rely on is church, like Dr. Williams have mentioned. But this is one thing that helped me. If you go online, like Eventbrite, there are things that are usually organized. Okay, there are activities always organized. So go to Eventbrite or just go on Google and ask for activities happening in your area. You'll see lots of activities. I remember one conference I joined and I would have attended, but they said I should bring big money. So because it's big, big people that were going there. But there was one I found that was really helpful that eventually helped me, that the story of this summit is actually from one of those meetings. So it's Africa, no, women in Qatar, something, something. I don't remember exactly. So I found them online through one of my searches, found them online, and then I started joining them. They had these physical meetings. These are big, big women, physical meetings in very, very wonderful hotels. So I started joining them and they called for mentorship, mentee program. And I signed up for the mentee program. And that was where I connected with an amazing Asian woman who guided me for 1 year mentorship. And it was during that mentorship in that COVID year that this summit was bettered. So go online and search for activities that align with what you love, with your interest. I'm sure you will definitely see something. They don't say it out there. They don't, most people around you won't even know. So you are the one that will go and find it out.
All
Thank
right,
you.
thank you so much, Dr. Ezinle, for that wonderful talk. Okay, so the next question goes to Namdi, Mr. Namdi. Okay, so how can someone build a strong support system in a new country?
Okay, thank you so much. One thing is you definitely need support. We definitely need support at one point or the other, 100%. You can't escape from that, you know. But when you're trying to get that support, you need to be very, very careful as well so that you don't get yourself into some kind of confusion and, running into some trouble. Now, abroad is built in a way where the support system is there, but you need to go out there and find the informations, things that are relevant to what you need support on, and get the support you need. You know what I'm saying? So basically, the first thing I advise people is try to look for people that can give you the right information. Don't isolate yourself. And you must have a community you belong to when you travel abroad, a community that can help you in times of need. For example, I had my first daughter abroad in the Middle East. And despite the fact that it's all about your work that we all know in the Middle East, except one of the days in the week where all of us meet in the church. But the first thing I did was to get myself involved in church activity where we have lots of African communities, especially Nigerians. And when I brought my wife to that country, of course, she joined what she joined the community, the church community where I was as at that time. And both the pastors, both everyone was we all became friends and like a family. And when she gave birth, as a Nigerian woman, you know how it is back home when a woman gives birth, we try to people try to cook some kind of food to give a new mom, and she got that treatment. And that first feeling where people came around, people she knew came around, at the hospital, we were able to become happy, get that support, that initial support, especially as a new mom, and myself being that was the first time she was having a baby. There's no way I could have sorted what to do. I don't even know what to do, but we got that support we needed. So you must identify with people that aligns with your culture. There is no place you go where you won't see people that will be very, very helpful to you. It's not possible. So if you are not a religious person like us or like me, who wants to be, for example, where I live in the UK as well right now, is a kind of a white dominated community. But the church we are attending right now, when my wife gave birth not quite long ago, we had a woman a white woman who came all the way from where she lived to come and spend time with us, to come and see how we're faring, to come and see how she can support us. The reason why that happened is because we were able to identify with the community on time. So you shouldn't isolate yourself. That's the key word here. Don't isolate yourself. Ask questions. Try to look for, where you can find people that have the kind of culture you have. Because of course we all know we have different kinds of people in abroad where you have, some people with different kinds of culture. But try as much as some people don't care. This is the way their culture is. Some of them don't even want you to speak to them. This is the way their culture is. So information will let you to understand that, look, this is what it is. Some of them don't even want to talk to me, but there are people that wants to speak to you. There are people that wants to relate with you. Make sure you get those right information, connect to the right people. Don't isolate yourself. Now I live in Scotland currently right now, but I can support someone in London. So if you give me a call and ask me questions about, do I know things about this, I can easily give you information on what's happening in London and the places you can go and get probably Nigerian food or African food and stuff like that in the West Midland, in Scotland, in England. Because of the nature of my job, I travel around the United Kingdom just to get things done because of the nature of my job. So I know most of the places where I can tell you where to go and have your haircuts, in so and so. So the key thing there is don't isolate yourself, but don't get yourself exposed to people that can give you the wrong advice and then you get into trouble. So that doesn't mean you should suspend your senses when you're trying to connect to some certain people, because I have a story of someone who run into someone here in abroad, and he never knew the kind of thing the person was doing, so they nearly got him involved. So that person again is also an African. So you should be very, very careful, ask questions, and try to double check any information you're getting. I mean, it's very, very important. You must build a community. It's super very important. Super, super very important.
Thank you so much. Chiamaka, please, your opinion, your view on this.
Um, so support is huge abroad, and I think that we have been made to thrive in community. People cannot, you can't do life alone, where you can't be an island. But there's also a mix of information when it comes to cultivating community. And I love the contributions that have come from all the discussants. First is that you've been given tips on how to get yourself out there to cultivate community, to find a church community. If you're the religious person, identify. Then for some people, we also, Nigerians were big on having organizations. So I think that we still have our small, 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 small Nigerian communities here and there. Some people have their state or their town organizations here and there. People go to identify. But I want to say that beyond these structured organizations, be somebody who cultivates relationship with people individually. That even if you are not part of these big groups, which I encourage people to, depending on what your situation is, that you're able to also have people who you can fall back on. And then I want to say that as we are cultivating community, there's this mindset of building network and trying to use people to climb that we have back home. So now that we are expressing community and people are thinking it's about go there and find out who is who so that you now use them and get your job and do this and do that. See, if you go with that mindset, first you're going to be very frustrated. So I just want to say that as we're hammering on, oh, cultivate community, open your heart and genuinely you want to build relationships that will nurture you as a human being beyond money, because you need emotional support. And then we have people who also tell you, don't talk to Nigerians, they'll put you in trouble, this, that, that. So my answer to that thing is always the same thing that applies to how you choose your friends or the people who are close to you and in your circle back home should apply here as well. Have an open heart. When you meet people, give them a benefit of doubt, get to experience them, get to know them. And if your values align, why not? They become part of your tribe because you will need them. And then this whole idea of, oh, I don't want to have black friends, I don't want to have Nigerian friends. Anyway, I'm not going to tell people who to have friends with or who not to have friends with. But one thing I know is that Oyibo person cannot relate with you the way your Nigerian person is going to relate with you, because they do not have your shared and lived experience. So there are things that we do as a people that is peculiar to us from where we are coming from. So let me say the issue of black tax, for instance. Oyibo person will not understand why you're sending more than half of your salary back to Nigeria. They will think you're mad. They won't understand it. You have a baby. The person will not come and be doing omugo for you. They don't understand why somebody is driving from work after doing a 12-hour shift. And then she's dropping by at her friend's house to say, how are you doing today? Or you're moving in the morning and then you cooked food and then you're dropping food for her because you know she's struggling. She has a baby and she's alone. You drop food for her and then you continue to work. They won't understand why you're doing that. But we as a people understand that because you can relate to what they are going through. So I think that have your friends. I'm for having friends from different races, right? But it's your own people. They have a need that they meet for you. So it's also important that you have those people who can actually relate to your own experiences. people who you can fall back on, because the way you fall back on your own people, you can't fall back on the Igbo person like that. So if you're cultivating community, I think that come from a place of love and genuineness, that you want to be a help for somebody, and then your hands are also open to receive the same help if it is you who now needs it. Then like that, you now cultivate a community that actually supports you in the actual sense of support. So that it's not just the calculation of, oh, if I go here, am I able to get that job? If I go here, am I able to now meet businesses? These things are beautiful. It's also good to have that in mind, but that should not be your only goal. You want to genuinely have relationships with people like human beings. And then in those places, why not? Opportunities come, people talk about these things, and then people come to also share information and things that you don't even know exist where you live. So you pay attention, but let whatever your intention is be true and good in the first place. And that's how you're going to benefit from these places that we have suggested to each and every one of us.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank
Over
you.
to you,
Yeah.
Dr. Izinde.
So you know what you highlighted about actually desiring relationship, not just to use people. This you just broke tables, like scattered the legs, pieces everything, because that's the new thing now. Join networking, network with people that have value. You bring value. You know that word value, value. They say bring value. Network with them. That I
And
remember
then
some.
there's also this thing that we say, and I don't know why, it's important that we are conscious of these stereotypes and not, allow them to shape our mindset. I've heard people, they keep saying, oh, you need to meet white people if you want to do business because there's no money in the black community. So if it's the white people that are going to give you that kind of money. And you know how money drives us, where we don't think again. Once it's money, everybody is focused on securing the bag. Even if you're going to die while you're securing the bag, you don't care. So I think it's important that we pay attention to these things. If you are doing business, it depends on the business you're doing. It depends on who your service or product is geared towards. There's money in the black community, there's money in the white community, there's money everywhere. My encouragement is that people should have open hearts when you are doing these things, because you never can tell. There are good human beings everywhere across races, and there are bad human beings everywhere across races. There are good black people, there are bad black people, there are very good white people, and there are very horrible white people. It's not a racial thing. Bad people are everywhere in the world, good people are everywhere in the world. So have an open heart and deal with people whose values and outlook and perspective align with you as a person. And that's how you get to enjoy relationships and build tribe that sort of fuels you as a human being. So you're not just the person who has money and there's nothing else and you're miserable.
Hmm. That's really powerful. I remember somebody that used to write me back in the days. This was from LinkedIn. He will now write, I've forgotten the messages, but it was more like trying to keep in touch, that kind of thing, networking kind of thing. And you know what? We all can see through genuine relationships. We
Yes.
can easily see people that just want to leech on us until they get what they want. And we can see people that actually want to relate with us. So if you're faking it, you will be caught. I'm telling you now. If you come to my side, I'll catch you and I'll play alongside with you, but you will not know until we'll start giving you one word reply. Okay. All right. Bye. Okay. So if you give genuinely, you also receive genuinely. Okay. So let's go to this last question, and that will be for Dr. Weyoms. And if you have your questions, please ask now. We have our expert panelists. If you're finding great value, yes, we love the word value. If you're finding great value from this summit, please share with your audience, share with your people that are planning to travel or those that have already relocated. Let them come and learn. Okay. So, Dr. Williams, what's one habit that has helped you reduce stress while chasing success?
I do a lot of reflection. So I do daily reflection. How's my day been? What was I chasing today? Did it matter? Just little questions to check myself, how I am, how I'm feeling, understanding my body. So there's a stage you get to where your body is the one that's in fact, every day your body tells you about itself, and you have to respond or react. So if your body is telling you today, if I wake up and my body is telling me, you know what, you have time, sleeping for 1 hour, I will sleep in for 1 hour. If my body tells me, oh yeah, let's go and do all this work, I will go and do all the work. So I do a lot of daily reflection. I also take time to rest. So there are seasons where I'm not very active. I sometimes go on my WhatsApp and say, if you send me a message, it is until 3 days time I will respond to you, because I cannot keep myself. So little things like that, reflection, what's that English? Carving out time to detox or to step away, have a retreat. That's one thing I also do. So retreat, people are like, okay, where are you? What's up? I'm like, oh, I'm just taking a break. To have a break, go on vacations, go on holiday. There's bank holiday in the UK, enjoy it. So that as much as I'm going about my life purpose, I am also taking breaks and enjoying the life that God has given to me. So what's money if I cannot enjoy it? What's the success if I cannot enjoy it with the people I love and who needs to be there with me? So please reflect, enjoy your time, take a break, do what you listen to your body, pay attention to because stress, your body tells you when you are stressed and tells you, please help me. I need you to stop pushing and pushing, to pay attention to your body. Thank you.
Wow, thank you so much. So self-awareness, guys. You've
Yeah,
heard it. Mr.
Dr.
Nnamdi.
Zine, yeah, if I may add to what Dr. Just said right now, I think people should learn to plan very well, especially if you know your itinerary before the week starts. We should learn to plan our itinerary very, very well. When you plan very well, it helps to reduce the amount of stress. Because if you look at it, what are even the things that trigger stress? Whether we like it or not, we are swimming in those risk factors on a day-to-day basis. For example, our work, families, and etc. But if you're able to plan within the day, you know your activities of the week. For example, you can risk assess those activities and see how you can mitigate those risk factors that could trigger high level of stress. If you are going to go to work, you should be able to start, traveling on time or driving on time so that you don't put yourself under unnecessary pressure of getting stuck in traffic or beating cameras or getting traffic violations. But when you leave on time, you give yourself that excess room to drive safely, get to work on time, and manage your day. Again, if you don't plan it, you're going to get stressed. That's 100%. If you don't plan it, you're going to get stressed. So our life is made up of days, weeks, months, years. So everything should come under that planning. And the activities that is going to take place that week should be risk assessed. So when you risk assess it, you can be able to put controls in place to prevent all those things that could trigger high level of stress in your life. So it's very important. If it has to do with your family, for example, child care, you plan how you're going to help your kids that week, taking them to school or make some necessary arrangements. But if you don't plan it, you just be under necessary pressure. And trust me, pressures produces stress in life. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much. How can you be a health and safety consultant without risk assessing your life every time?
Yeah, it's very important. It's super very important.
Thank you so much, Mr. Nnamdi, because me too need to be risk assessing everything every week, honestly, rather than just carrying on like anything I see. Okay, and then Chiamaka, yes, please.
Yeah, to add to that, so like Dr. Williams said, I self-reflect a lot, and I'm not giving to competition. And I think it's something we should pay attention to, because being Nigerians, even if you don't want to, they will drag you and put inside. But make sure that even if they are trying to drag you and put inside, you too, you drag yourself and come outside. Very, very important. So I do a lot of self-reflection, and then I I am aware of my season. I am very aware of my season. So if because I know my season, I know what I am working on per time. I know what is priority to me per time. So that just gives me like a sense of direction. And I'm not bothered about, oh, they've bought house. I'm not in the season where I'm trying to buy house. I am not in the season where I'm trying to, I don't know, have out invest somebody, or maybe buy a particular kind of car, or try to throw a party that people will know with my family back home that me, I have arrived. So knowing my season is important. And then that season now helps me to know that in this season, this is what is priority to me. Or maybe I'm in a season where I'm trying to build stability. I'm trying to build I'm trying to build up my emergency fund. That's your season. Or I'm in a season where my children are under 5. Childcare is a problem and I can't work more than twice in a week. That's your season. Accept it, make peace with your season, and ask yourself what is realistic with this season. So I think that in this whole journey of Japa, patience is very, very important. If you don't have it, go and buy. Because if you do not have patience on this journey, I'm assuring you, as long as you're in the West, you end up in prison. That's where you're going to end up. If you don't have patience on this journey, and as Nigerians that we want to meet up sharp, 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 you're going to end up in prison. Somebody must put you there because you're going to try to beat the systems, and trying to beat the systems, you're going to do very illegal things that are going to put you in trouble. So if you don't watch it, that's where you're going to end up. And then that pepper you want to pepper people, you end up peppering yourself. But if you know your seasons, you know what is important to you per time, you know what your priority is per time. You're not trying to impress anybody. You're trying to live a life that is realistic with whatever your own situation is. Then it's easier to know what you're working on. It's easier to take away stress from yourself. You're not trying to buy all the ashebi. You're not trying to support all the people getting married. You're not trying to carry all the funeral back home on your head. You know what is reasonable. You know what your own personal boundaries are. You are the one policing yourself, policing your finances, policing your health, policing your time, policing your mental capacity. So if you have an idea of these things, nobody's going to stretch you beyond what you're willing to give or what you can carry. So I think it's important to know our seasons, own it, then deal with what is important to you per time. Once you know what is priority per time to you, then pay attention to it.
Thank you. Thank you so much for that. I really love how everyone brought different perspectives to answering this particular question. Dr. Weyoms talked about self-reflection, self-awareness. Mr. Nnamdi talked about risk assessing your week ahead. That's planning ahead and taking control as much as possible. And Chiamaka talked about knowing your seasons and not giving into any form of pressure. Just be aware of your seasons and be in the season. Chiamaka, since you were the last speaker, please, can you just take this question alongside? When I'm not having money, my wife will fall sick. Please, what should I do?
This question is very personal. So the thing is, it's difficult to give you a straightforward answer. When you don't have money, your wife falls sick. What's the connection between your wife falling sick and you're not having money? Does she have a health issue that is dependent on money, that when there's no money, her health issue is going to get out of hand, is not going to be able to manage? Or are you also in a situation where, in a financial situation where if you don't have money, the family is going to be in their need? Maybe there won't be food to eat. Is that why the woman is falling sick? Because I mean, if you have a family, you have children who are dependent on you, and you wake up in the morning and you're not able to provide the basics like shelter, like food for your children, like basic things for them to, move around with life, then if she falls sick, maybe it's in order, because how do you have children and you're not able to feed them, and then you wake up in the morning? What exactly are you supposed to be doing? So what exactly? Or is it that your wife wants a Range Rover, and if you are not able to afford a Range Rover, then she falls sick? So we need to know what exactly is the relationship between this money and falling sick? Is it that when there's no money, you're in that financial season where if there is no money, the family is really struggling in a very bad way? Is that the problem? But if everything is okay and maybe you're not able to provide luxury and your wife gets angry because you're not having money, then there are bigger questions to ask about your relationship, her values and communication. So it's not easy to give you a straightforward answer. When you do not have money, what exactly is the connection between this money and her sickness? So that helps you to now know how to tackle it.
Well, thank you so much. I think that actually answers it, because if we don't have more information, it will be difficult to actually pinpoint how to assist or how to answer that question. Yeah, thank you. And on the final note, what do you have to? What can you tell someone that is planning to relocate abroad? An advice, Dr. Williams. It's after Dr. Williams, Mr. Nnamdi, Chiamaka.
So I will take from everything I've learned today. Number one, be self-aware. Number two, be patient. Number three, do your risk assessment. Number four, plan a lot. Number five, know your season. You can be coming in as a student. That means your journey is longer. You might be coming in as somebody who got a job directly from Nigeria. Maybe your journey might be shorter, but everybody is on a journey. So and be going in your journey. And above all, even if some people try to deny it, God has to be in the center. Isn't it knows that I always say, if God did not tell you to Japa, don't Japa. That's all for me.
Okay, thank you. Yes, so Mr. Nnamdi.
Yes, I think if all the things we have said have answered that question, all the things we've said have definitely answered that question. Like Dr. Wumi said, the planning have to be there. And we are in a season now where informations are just at the tip of our fingers. So our circumstances are different, that's for sure. Like Dr. Wumi said, if you're coming in as a student, it's a different thing than someone coming as a professional or whatever. So it's all different. One most important thing is nobody should put him or herself under unnecessary pressure. You must plan. You must get the right information. I mean, I had one of my old friends just spoke to me. That was last month, and he has been under unnecessary pressure to leave the country, and he was talking about going to Poland. And according to him, the 1 year work visa to Poland is what he's chasing right now. I told him, I said, it's very important to travel, but it doesn't really make sense going to Poland with 1 year work visa. You are in Nigeria, you don't have a skill, you are just a degree holder who is just doing a civil service work. When you get to Poland, what do you think life will be for you? You don't know how to speak Polish to start with. You don't have work experience. We are people, even with our work experience back home, you can't easily integrate into their working system. And a lot of information was coming across him from his agent. At the end of the day, that was a month later, he called me and said, you gave me the best advice. So if you're going to travel, you must plan, you must ask for right information, you must get the right information. And if you have the right information, when you get to where you're going to, you're not going to be under unnecessary pressure because nothing will really surprise you. You have all the necessary informations. Like I said, I made mistakes in my life when I left the country the first time. And one of the key factors that contributed to those mistakes is I never had the information that I have right now. So information is the key. You shouldn't put yourself under pressure. And last thing for me is a long life project. There is no age mark to this success stuff abroad. You don't give yourself that that age bracket, that years bracket, that in 5 years time you're going to do this, in 10 years. Don't ever go there. You're going to crash 100%, and you must go to prison. Like Chiamaka said, you're going to go to prison at the end of the day, because if you've not met that target, you'll be under unnecessary pressure, and every information that comes your way will be like a great opportunity. And before you know it, the system is so sophisticated, it's so designed that they would definitely catch you. It's just a matter of time before you see yourself in the prison. So please everyone listening to me. And if you want to make this move, it's very good. I can't stop you. If you've made that decision that you're going to make the move, it's super very good. But you must plan. Don't put yourself under unnecessary pressure. Don't give yourself under unnecessary targets, and you're going to get there. Thank you, Dr. Zine.
Thank you so much, Mr. Nnamdi. Don't go and land in prison. Oh, I beg. I beg. Dr. Way, Chiamaka, yes.
Chiamaka, yeah.
Okay, so for anybody who wants to Japa, the first thing I would say is get informed. What route do you want to use for your Japa? Or what route do you qualify for? Some people have the skills, they already have the job, so they go through the work route. Find out what it takes for you to get yourself into that system and start working. If you want to go through the education route, if you're going via the marriage route, whatever route of entry to the country of, of interest is, I would say, get informed. And this getting informed is also a survival means when you get into the country. One thing is getting a visa and getting into the country. Another thing is having yourself sustain life in that country. So when I'm saying get informed on how you intend to navigate your life in that country, your like a sustainability plan. It might not be that you have everything 100% from back home, because it's not possible. And even regardless of what you are told, when you come here, there are still some things that will not be as exactly as you have been told, or as exactly as you have understood it. But getting informed helps you to manage your expectations, and get informed from people who will tell you the truth. We like sugar coated stories. We don't like people who tell us things just exactly the way it is. So the ones who tell you the truth, you avoid them. Then the ones who tell you that everything is working out fine, don't worry, once you come, they make it look like it's just a very easy peasy thing, until you now come in and you realize that they might not even offer you as much help as they have promised you. So get informed, have a sustainability plan. Even if that sustainability plan, you now come in and it doesn't work exactly like that, you will know how to now tweak the plans and navigate it to adjust to whatever reality that you have met. Then it's a long-term journey, like Mr. Nnamdi has said. Patience is very important, and it gets better. It gets better. If you are patient, you are focused, you are not distracted, you are aware, you understand what your own goals and dreams are, and you are focused on attaining those goals, just going through the process, not cutting corners, you will get there. It gets better. So you need to be aware, you need to be informed, and then you need to be patient.
Wow. Thank you
Wow.
so much.
Thank you.
That's so insightful. So insightful. I'm very sure everyone here has really benefited from all that you all have shared. And then oh, this was from the previous question. Always food at home, but anytime she didn't see fiscal money on me, the problem starts. And this was also in line with one of the things that Chiamaka mentioned. So I think you have to have that conversation with your wife. Have the conversation with your wife about money. Okay? That's where it's going to start from. Okay. I think that brings us to the end of this particular session. And if you think we are done, hey, 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 hey. So
We just started.
just wait for this exciting part. Don't say we did not tell you. And Dr. Weyoms, Chiamaka, Mr. Nnamdi, if you want us to connect with you after this session, please do let us know how we can get to you, if that's what you want. Maybe email or anything.
I am on Instagram and Facebook as Chiamaka Onyedika. So if you want to connect with me, you can send me DMs on Instagram or Facebook and I'll respond.
Okay.
Yeah, for me, I'm happy to help. Can only get through me through my emails because that's where most people easily send me. So, I'm gonna give Dr. Zine my email to drop on the chat, or for the audience if you want to reach me, nluisokeke@gmail.com easily. I'm always on email because That is where my eyes is all the time. Thank you.
He told you all that he's a very modest man.
Okay, I am on LinkedIn and Facebook. So if you type my name, Wayne Erikoa Obigoye, on LinkedIn, you'll find me. On Facebook, I'm on Facebook. So that's where I am. Nothing much.
Everyone on this platform are very, very modest people. Honestly. Dr. Weyoms, I was trying to get your details.
Okay, so my name, just my name, you'll find me on LinkedIn with my name, my full name. So Wayne Erikoa Origoye, that's how you'll find me on LinkedIn. The same on Facebook as well.
Now you have found trouble now. You guys on the WhatsApp chat. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you all so much. Thank you all so much. We are so blessed to have you all share your wisdom, your insights.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, and have a lovely evening to our
Thank you.
wonderful.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank
Bye
you.
bye.
Thank you.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Yay!
Woo!
Now we are ready for exciting.
Whoa. Let's get some clapping on our comment section.
Yeah.
Clap. Woo!
Let's see you in the comments. Are you ready for what's about to happen right now?
Are you ready? Are you ready? Let me sing for you. So you're excited and ready. Are you ready?
So, first of all,
All right.
I want to appreciate every one of you. You all are stress champions for staying to the end of this summit. And this is the 5th edition of this summit. It has held consistently from April 2020. And this particular year is very, very special to me because last year I couldn't put it up. I wasn't able to host any summit. I needed time for my own self to I just needed to take care of my own self, so I didn't do it. And this summit is more like 2 sessions, 2 summits combined in one. That's why it's bigger, and you were able to see it. We were able to reach many of you. So a lot went into planning this summit, including adverts. Most of you saw this summit through adverts. A lot of money was spent, but in all, we give God all the glory for giving us the resources to host this summit. And you know that you didn't pay a dime for this, and you benefited maximally. So the only thing we are asking of you at this moment, before we go to the next phase, which is really exciting, is please subscribe to this YouTube channel so that it will help us grow. Subscribe to this YouTube channel so it will grow and generate funds to subsequently fund the next summits. Because if we are running ads to make the summit get to you, you know it's a lot of money. So the more money we put in, the more it gets to you. And our goal is for it to reach 1 million African households by year 2040. So I want you to help us key into this vision by subscribing, sharing with others, so that we can also generate more money, because I know how much this particular one costs. It's well with our soul. It's well with our soul. Okay, so going on to the last stage. So we are going to have 5 lucky winners of 50,000 Nigerian naira.
Wow.
And so I'm going to keep an eye on the fastest fingers.
Yeah. My eyes is on my phone right now.
Are you ready?
We are ready.
Okay, the first one. Ta-da! Which year and month was the first stress management summit Africa hosted? Fastest finger. Drum rolls.
April 2020.
Oh my God, we have a winner.
We have Olaide.
Olaye.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Olaide,
That's not the
Olaye.
winner. Sorry, let me correct that. Olaide.
Olaide,
Yeah.
Olaya. Yes, she's the one.
Congratulations. Please screenshot this because we'll show you how you're going to claim your 50,000 Nigerian naira. Screenshot this. The next question is very easy. The founder
The tension is getting high.
of the Stress Management Summit Africa.
Woo.
Type her name in full. Her name in full. That means first name and surname. With surname, not just first name.
Okay. Woo! Opsi Kitchen got it. Ezinne Nnamdi Lois. Opsi Kitchen.
Mandy. Well, we'll give it to her. My name is actually Nnamdi. It's just
Nnamdi, yeah.
I haven't even gotten the correct spelling yet.
Yeah.
So we'll give it to her anyway. So it's Ezinne Nnamdi Louis. Nnamdi, yes. Double N-A-M-D-I.
yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Congratulations, Opsi Kitchen.
And interestingly, she was the winner of she was the first person that registered for the summit yesterday and won
Whoa.
prize yesterday.
Whoa.
So, oh my God.
Opsi Kitchen, I'm coming to your DM.
I'm telling you,
coming
she
to your
needs
DM.
Okay, the third one.
Okay.
What is the theme of this year's Stress Management Summit? Remember to screenshot if you've won a prize. Screenshot it because you'll be sending it to us. Opsi Kitchen says she would like to share her prize with other participants. Wow.
Okay.
Also, that means we'll go to the next.
Okay, someone just got it now. Mujidat, awesomeness.
Wholesomeness.
Mujidat says awesomeness.
Wow. Screenshot this, Mujidat. Congratulations.
Congratulations, Mujidat. Abul Karim, congratulations.
And then for the previous prize that was won, Okmayemi says that she would prefer someone else to take the prize. I'm looking for my correct name now. Nnamdi.
Okay.
This is the person that got my name, both the correct spelling, everything.
Yeah.
I don't know how she did it. Catherine Chika. How did you do it? So Okmayemi has given you her prize.
Wow.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Wow, congrats to Catherine Chika. I've seen so many spellings. Please remember to screenshot it. Which speaker during this summit said they are your age mates and not your grace mates? This was yesterday. I'm sure that this one might be a bit.
Yeah, odd seat. This is an odd seat.
Hey, which speaker said this yesterday? And after she said it, we highlighted it again. No, we didn't have any Sharon as a speaker. No, that wasn't the money. Oh, we have a winner. Yes. Sonia. Modupe
got it.
Yes, I can tell the people that stayed and listened.
Okay, wow. I think there's an S on that name. Abi Sonia.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. We'll take that. And then the final prize. Remember to screenshot. The final one, Abi Sonia. Strategist Hope is going to choose this winner. Okay. She will decide who she wants to give this prize to.
Ooh.
How has the summit transformed your life? She will read through and decide who she wants to give the prize to. This is not fastest finger, just write. And then she
Yeah.
will decide.
Okay. Bring it up. Bring it up. Bring it up.
How has the summit transformed your life?
Okay. Okay.
There's no fastest finger, just
I
type
think they're
out.
taking their time to type.
Yeah, I
Okay.
see. I see. People are taking their time to type out their hearts.
Hmm. Hmm. I think I'll go with Itopa.
Oh, you've chosen your winner already.
Yes.
Wow. Itopa Zubairu. It
Yeah.
has touched my
So
life
many
and
value. So many
understand
value under one page.
the
Yeah.
power of family, the power of unity, power of cooperation, and power of oneness. Wow. Congratulations, Itopa
Congratulations, Itopa.
Zubairu. Zubairu. Congratulations. Please screenshot this particular um screenshot this page because you're going to be sending it to us. Congratulations to all the amazing winners of our
Congratulations.
Naira cash prizes. And this is how to get your prize. Please send emails to stress management stress summit africa at gmail.com, including your full name and bank details to match your name. Please, very important. Full name and bank details to match your name. Also include the screenshots of the announcement on your on the prize. Okay, include the screenshots that we included. All right, and then some people have asked how to get to me, how to work with me. I offer the following services. I offer the following services: stress management coaching certification. So this is what I do for those that want to be trained to become stress management coaches. If you have a heart for helping people, or you are HR, or you're a leader, or even as a parent, or you're somebody that just has that interest in helping other people cope with their stress, you can reach out to me. Send me an email at ezine@thrivingolive.com or write to me on WhatsApp. Let me remove these banners so that you can see the details. Or you can write to me on WhatsApp via this number. Also, if you want to work with me on one-on-one life coaching, I've opened up my private one-on-one life coaching. I closed it for a long time, but I'm ready to do it again to help someone out there to begin to implement all that you've learned, or you're looking for clarity on the next phase of your life, or you're looking for a way to cope with this current season of your life. Reach out to me. I once worked with a lady, and months later, she kept talking about how I helped her. Just one session gave her so many impacts that she kept talking about. That was a work-related issue that happened, and we came up with strategies for her to cope. So it's a personalized coaching session. This is not about what you find on ChatGPT or about the generic thing that people tell you. No, I'm going to work with you to help you discover your own innate superpower to take charge of your life. It's always a powerful session. So write to me, the same email, the same WhatsApp. Also, finally, if you're planning a summit, if you want to host a summit, for instance, like what I've done here today, hosting a summit is a complex task. There is a lot involved. I've done it for 4 years, and for the 5th year, I had to bring Coach Hope to help with the planning. And at the same time, now I've decided to also include it to my own services, because I've had the experience for the past 5 years, and I know what is involved, the nitty-gritty. So if you enjoyed what you saw here today, reach out to me, email, the same WhatsApp. One thing about summits or events like this is that it positions you as a go-to authority in your field. So when you're talking about stress management in Africa, somebody can easily talk about Ezine Nnamdi Lewis, because this is something I have done by positioning myself through hosting summits like this. Okay, so if you are happy to work with me for these services, please, you can screenshot this to get back to later. And when I'm done, Coach is also going to tell you how you can get to her for her own services. I'm sure you didn't see this coming. Nobody saw this coming. So this is a special announcement that the Stress Management Summit Africa April 2026 is here almost. I know we are still in 2025. So let's not get ahead of ourselves. But if you've enjoyed what you saw here today, this summit that you've enjoyed here today was built on the sweats and back of so many people, the expert speakers, the presenters, the planners, So if you would love to join us to get this to so many more households, remember we are planning to reach about 1 million households by 2040. So we can only do it with our unlimited resources. But if we have more hands on board, we are able to reach even much more people. And if you're interested or you're inspired by what has happened here today, please go to this link, bit.ly/SV2026. Screenshot this page now so that you don't forget it. Or you can email us to send you the link directly, okay? If you want to be a speaker or you would love to volunteer at the next summit. And then before we bring Coach Hope up, please leave us a Google review. Reviews are so important to us, because this is like the review we had from the last summit. That was where we learned that we needed a man on the family and parenting panel. And you can testify to what Mr. Dele did to today's session at family and parenting panel session. So please leave us a review. If everything was wonderful, let us know. If you have suggestions on things we can do better, also let us know. Okay, thank you. And then Coach Hope.
Yee! All right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. What a huge success. To God's glory, to the glory of God. Thank you, Jesus. Yes. All right. So you can reach out to me on Facebook, or Christopher. On Instagram, I am Christopher James, and on LinkedIn, Christopher James. And what do? I'm a family life coach. I'm a personal branding strategist. Personally, I work with career moms who are trying to navigate their career path and the home. So what we do for them as Christa's coaching and consulting is we help them with the things they are unable to do by themselves, like a support system, pushing them towards reaching their dreams. Services like mindset mastery, family life harmony, personal branding and rebranding, including polishing, book writing and publishing, course creation, online events management, visibility and creative solution, social media integration. So we do a whole lot with career moms globally for one reason. So they would have time to enjoy the best of life and also with their family while living purpose. Purpose doesn't need to be a very hard thing to do. Yes, a support system can make that a great reality. And at Christa's Coaching and Consulting, we see that as a number one task, to put a smile on every career mom's face. Thank you so much for having me, Dr. Ezine. Thank you.
And she's really good at what she does. She is really. You can attest to the fact anyway, so I don't really have to say so much. Oh wow! Olaide says, "Can I gift my prize with Norma Vivian Emmanuel?"
Yeah, I did a screenshot of that. Yeah.
Okay, that means
Yeah.
50-50. Is that what you're asking? Please reply quickly. Let's know what we are doing. Reply quickly. Are you saying 50-50? And Norma Vivian, do you accept the prize that someone is gifting you? Or is it 100%? Oh, 100%.
100%.
Wow.
What a great act.
Wow.
Woo.
Thank you so much.
Woo.
Thank you so
Thank
much for
you.
showing someone. Norma Vivian, please screenshot this. Can we see your comments? I don't know if you're still here.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. Norma Vivian
Neoma
Emmanuel,
Vivian, are
I
you here?
can't find this. Or if someone knows her, please let her know to screenshot this page and send it to our email that we've shared earlier, stresssummitafrica@gmail.com. Thank you so much, Olaide. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you so much.
Thank
You all have been
you.
so
Thank
wonderful and
you.
staying with us till this very moment. You've given us the encouragement and the courage to come again
Thank
and do
you.
it.
Woo!
Thank you so
And someone said it shouldn't be a yearly summit. Someone said it
It
shouldn't
should
be a
be
yearly
a weekend
summit.
summit. My dear, if you know what goes into this summit,
Yeah.
you say let it be once in 2 years. As well. And for those in the WhatsApp group,
Oh,
we have special announcements for you all.
yeah.
Okay? Stay tuned. Thank you so much and have a fantastic evening.
Thank you. Thank you. To have a blessed evening.